power consumption.
Low weight. Easy to move
Blacks
around.
are absence of light, not light being blocked.
Black hole.
Right.
Black.
Right. It looks like this.
Deeper, richer black.
Yeah,
Yes,
we're talking
crazy
about
deep
million to
blacks.
one contrast ratio.
And really
That's
fast
good.
pixel response
That's
time.
good. So good picture quality.
Yeah, it's the Samsung. A lot of the Samsung phones use AMOLED screens. The Nokia Lumia 800 used an AMOLED screen. I think this is just an OLED, not an AMOLED.
It's
So
an OLED.
did you see some footage running on that? What did that look like?
Really good.
Look
Really
good?
crisp.
All
Look
right.
magical.
It's really difficult to tell because their lighting is perfect, and
you're
nothing,
you're a
there's
long
nothing
way
to
away.
compare it to.
But what are they
You know,
pushing? I know what they're doing. They're pushing the super thinness of it,
the
right?
thin bezel and the thinness of the TV.
Which again, once you get past the whoa, it's so thin. Like again, using it in everyday life, you're not going to care.
But the
anymore.
thin
It's super
bezel,
You can hang it on the wall like a picture frame, like super thin.
Yeah.
Yes. When he's
Yeah.
talking about thin bezel, though, he doesn't mean.
We're talking about
He
1
doesn't mean
millimeter.
front
you
to
mean
back.
you mean the
He
image
means
goes all the
this
way to the
thing.
edge?
Yeah.
Right. Oh, that's cool.
So not like a picture frame. It's like just the
Suddenly,
poster.
Gary's interesting.
Right.
Just the picture.
That's cool.
Yeah.
It's like it's floating.
It is like it's floating, exactly.
LG also had smartphones because they make Android phones.
Smartphones.
Last year they announced their Optimus Black. We did the hands-on stuff. They had a really crappy glassless 3D phone last year that we did a video of.
Yep.
This year they have
I don't
the
think
LG.
did they ever release that phone. I don't
They
remember
did.
seeing it.
They
Oh,
did.
really?
Yeah.
Ooh.
They have the LG Spectrum. They announced that this year.
Okay.
It's a 720p phone. I believe it's definitely dual core, but it's only running Android 2.3 Gingerbread.
Okay.
It'll get ice cream sandwich. I wasn't blown away by other phones. They have a deal with ESPN. It's LTE, so it's, you get really good bit rates. You can download HD video with ESPN on your phone.
Fascinating.
So I'm not the right market to watch football and ESPN on my phone.
My football season ended tonight.
Oh really?
The bad guys won.
Who won?
Alabama.
Oh, was that national championships?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a shitty game too.
Wait, no.
Yeah.
Oh, but okay, Tennessee wasn't in the championship.
No.
Okay, I was like,
just fucking
yeah.
hate Alabama.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Well, mortal nemesis. I'm from Tennessee.
The most interesting thing, if you want to get into, because you can get all the facts of what products were announced and the specs and stuff from the press releases.
Yeah.
The press conferences are interesting because of the spin, right?
Well, you get a glimpse into what everyone is thinking.
Yeah, there's so much Kool-Aid
It's
being
bad
served in each
Kool-Aid.
press conference.
What kind of Kool-Aid?
It's Jim Jones kind.
Korean flavored
That
Kool-Aid.
if you drink it,
What?
you
Korean
die.
flavored?
Well, LG's a Korean company.
Oh. Yeah, so there's a lot of bad ideas.
All right, so give me an
James,
example
in
of kind of
these- in
spin,
these-
the kind of bullshit they were trying to sell you on.
I can get to like a Sony example. Okay.
Okay.
I'm
Well,
gonna
you're
jump
jumping way ahead.
I know. I can't think of
Oh
this.
my
Put me on the
God.
spot. When Sir Howard Stringer came up and talked about their incredible success in Android tablets.
What?
Well, exactly. Very well received, not only by critics but also by consumers.
Did they have a bar that showed percentage of Android tablet market share, neglecting to put the percentage of iPad market share?
Well, they brought up 3 quotes from reviewers.
Okay.
To demonstrate over.
Were there
massive
dots in the
stream.
quotes? Because the dot
The
in the quote,
ellipses.
that's a real warning sign.
Yeah, there are definitely ellipses in the quotes. But they had one from Mossberg, who Stringer called the Holy One. And the Mossberg glowing quote was that Sony was doing something different. That was his glowing recommendation. And
Wow.
then one of the quotes they had, I forget who it was attributed to, maybe Forbes, said, the strongest iPad 2 competitor yet.
Wow.
The quote they had behind,
the big giant
behind
one.
him.
Those quotes are
Definitely calling out that they are a distant number 2, if that, and they are not number 2.
Let's see.
Well, I mean, that's not a
let's-
completely bullshit distinction. I mean, it is something. There is something to be said for being the best non-iPad tablet out there. But yeah, but
Even
the
that's
point being,
arguable,
it's a
though.
pretty weak.
It's a
thing
race
because
for
there aren't
second
really
place.
any good ones.
Yes.
Just
Yeah.
because you're the best non-iPad, it doesn't mean you're
Not a
actually
good
very
idea.
True.
good.
So with all these different press conferences, most of them that we saw today, they all announced TVs, like Panasonic, Samsung, LG, Sharp. They're all in the TV business. The way they spin the success that they have in the TV business, different for everyone, right? Customer satisfaction, one will tout excellent customer satisfaction. One will say, 90% of our TVs are 3D now, which is something to be proud of. They'll talk about sales of passive. They'll bash the active glasses, while Samsung will still be in the active market.
Right.
Yeah, they're all pushing different things.
Yeah.
LG.
IPS versus it's bad news all around.
Exactly.
Yeah.
LG is also, and I don't think it's something none of us predicted, ripping off gestures now. And I think this is also
So is
We
Samsung.
see a lot of gestures. Yeah.
gesture controls, basically wannabe Connect built into your TV.
Yeah.
For
Oh,
games.
really?
The wannabe Connect is a
Yes.
new thing. That's a
Yeah.
CES trend.
It's kind of
as
an
today.
extension of apps, but you can't take these guys seriously when the CEO of, when the director of innovation at LG comes up and says, there's been too much innovation in the room today, and everything that they've put out is clearly just a ripoff of something.
They
that
had
the
a
company's
gesture
done.
remote last year too. Remember?
Yes,
they had
the wand.
the motion control
Doubling
wand.
down
yeah.
on the wand. More wand.
Are they doing? They're doing apps again. Do they have? Is their app engine removable and upgradable?
No.
Do they still have
That's
Plex?
a good segue.
They did not mention
Didn't
Plex.
Samsung have one that was
So Samsung
upgradable?
is the. We're gonna jump all. Let's go back
all right.
to TVs. Cover
All right.
some TVs.
Samsung's the big. We'll talk about Samsung next. 'Cause they're big.
Wes, any questions about LG before we go on?
Not about LG specifically.
Anything to add? You were in that press conference. Did we miss anything?
Not really. I mean, like Norm said, it's more about the spin on the products than what they're actually showing. Because for the most part, they're just talking about their sales, and the OLED TVs are cool, but when are we going to actually?
They're going to be $10,000.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you find, Norm, that once as you're barraged with all this bullshit spin, that after a while you start drinking the Kool-Aid,
Nope,
or are you able to
absolutely
kind
not.
of deflect it all?
No,
easily
You get
deflection.
cynical.
Okay.
There is no reality distortion field at work at all in these rooms,
Okay.
except for the first 2 rows were with employees.
Well,
Right.
there's
That's
clapping
not entirely
zones.
true.
So okay.
Okay, yeah. No celebrities at the LG. We'll say that. No celebrities at the LG
Were you there?
press conference. I was at the LG press conference.
We had a D-list celebrity at the Samsung
So let's
press
talk about
conference.
Samsung next.
Who was the D-list celebrity?
Or sorry, no, I'm thinking of the Intel. Never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Samsung's next. So
Samsung is another TV manufacturer. TV everything. Samsung was, I think, the biggest press conference of the day. It was a huge ballroom, giant stage. Microsoft was bigger than that, but it's close.
they got their hands in everything.
They got everything. They got TVs. They got phones. They got Imagine a World appliances. They're building an ecosystem around Samsung. That became clear about midway through that press conference. Let off with
Ecosystem.
appliances.
Sure.
Ecosystem.
Yeah.
They let off with appliances, and their hook on Imagine a World isn't, I'm going to put food in the refrigerator and scan the receipt. It's, hey, the washer will send a message to your phone that lets you know when your laundry's done. That is actually, if you have a really big house, now if you live in a 1-bedroom apartment, you're completely useless.
Yeah.
But if you have a palatial estate, then I could see that being useful because you can sometimes forget.
If I have a palatial estate, I'm not doing my own laundry.
Yeah, no.
Also true.
You live in San Francisco, where having a palatial estate means it's $4 million. If you're in the middle of the country, then you can have a really massive house for $150,000.
But am I really in such a rush to get my laundry out that I need to know? I need an alert on my phone.
Well, this is something my wife taught me.
Or if you live in an apartment building and,
Yeah.
and the landlord got one of these, then your clothes aren't tossed to the side in the laundry of the washer.
The landlord's not going to get one of these. Let's be
Wow.
real.
I might get one of these.
So the hitch is they implied pretty strongly that this is only going to work with Samsung phones, not just Android phones, but only with Samsung phones.
Really?
Okay.
So I mean that may not be true, but they said it's a Samsung on your. They specifically said Samsung phone. That implies to me no app ecosystem, no iOS support, whatever. Not going to happen.
That's like-
Nobody buys just everything in their house Samsung.
Yeah.
Phone, tablet, appliances, washing machine. That's insane.
Well, no one we know.
So the second biggest press conference
Yeah.
Yeah.
at CES this
Yeah.
year hung on my washing machine can
No,
send
no,
a
no,
text
no.
message to
No,
my
no,
phone.
no. That's where they started off.
Okay.
Okay. Impressive.
From there, they went into TVs, I think, right?
Yeah.
TVs, they rolled their OLED. It was a super thin bezel, not thickness of TV, but bezel, plastic to
Is
screen.
it also quite thin?
It was well, we couldn't see it. We were far back, and we were not side on. I assume it's thin. I mean, nobody's going to make it. They're not going to make a 4-foot thick TV. at
We
this point.
saw it later. We saw it earlier this evening at the digital
Oh,
experience.
they had it over there.
Yeah, it was pretty thin.
The thing that I like about the Samsung TVs that they're doing next year is instead of putting the controls on the back of the TV, they're putting the controls on the base. So you know when you put your you probably you hung your TV on the wall, right?
No,
Or is it,
it's on a
so it's on a
stand.
stand.
Yeah.
So you have the unsightly cables going down between. There's a gap between the 2 feet, and the cables are just going back into your entertainment system under there. This time you just plug the HDMI cable into the bottom of the stand, like a MacBook, or something, like a.
Oh,
you're
yeah.
not,
So there's-
you're not
there's
talking
no-
about buttons.
there's
You're
no
talking
I'm talking
about
about buttons. I'm talking about like where you plug HDMI into the monitor and power
So
is
the
in
ports.
the base, not on the back of the screen. I don't know how that works if you want to
I guess
if you want to wall mount it.
that's a good idea.
That's neat. And the pillar was incredibly small looking. From where we are, it looked like it was maybe 2-3 inches square.
Right.
Very
the
small.
The TV's lighter. So.
Oh, the colors look nice on the OLED screen. I mean, the thing about TVs at CES is it's the most useless arm race because for a long time it was who could have the biggest TV.
Yeah.
And then nobody ever really sold those. Kevin Smith bought a 103-inch Panasonic one year. That's the only dude that ever bought one of those TVs.
There must be sort of, I saw at least one picture of a sharp, like 80-inch TV.
Oh yeah.
That
Well, the
was
arms race
making a big deal
continues.
about- Yeah.
Who can make the biggest IPS? Who can make the biggest OLED? Who can make the biggest plasma?
Right.
Who
right.
can care? I don't care. I'm interested in 55, 60-inch TVs.
Yeah.
Samsung's going up to 75 inches.
Okay.
They've added, as you said before, microphones and cameras to all of their, I assume, high-end TVs, the app TVs.
So we can do Good Morning Batman?
So you can, hello Batman, yeah.
Hello Batman.
Yeah. Theoretically.
I don't need interfaces on my TV to be faster. Or I don't need
No,
them to
you
be
need them
smarter.
to be faster.
I'd rather them be faster than smarter.
I don't want to use gestures for that stuff. That's the
Yeah.
lesson of Kinect.
I need less time between me pushing a button
Yeah.
and the content I want on the screen, as opposed to having more options for subscriptions.
Keep in mind, though,
and
I mean,
content.
all of their use cases were for lazy people and families and people that are sitting on the couch and don't want to get up. And, like, it's not for us.
Slouchers.
But why isn't
Speak for
but
yourself.
why isn't a remote good enough for that?
I don't know, right?
The fundamental problem is none of this next-gen interface stuff is any good if it's not better or faster or more
Here's the
convenient than
solution
the
I
remote.
want. I want to, because here's what actually happens. You sit there and you go, oh, I don't want to watch this program, or I don't want to do something else, and the remote's over there. I'm like, oh, I don't want to get up. Life's hard enough as it is.
Yeah.
I want to Luke Skywalker that shit over here.
You need wheels on your remote.
I want to be able to force pull it into the remote into my hand. Why can't I have something like that?
remote with
You know,
wheels.
if they had the Kinect where the Kinect doesn't react based on, if moving your hand across the screen,
Yeah.
that's not the point of the Kinect, but it's to let you know you're reaching for things.
Right.
Like it'll know
Ooh.
where your remote is because it'll have a sensor there, like an IR sensor,
Uh-huh.
and it can see that you're reaching for it.
Yes.
Then you can really have force connection.
Interesting.
Yes. There you
Yeah.
go. There you go.
Interesting. So TV stuff. I mean, they've got a bunch of TV stuff coming. Matt did a write-up about that. It's all on the site now. Matt, I can't remember the other highlights now. It seems like so long ago.
You were going to mention the SoC stuff, weren't you? The system, the app engine?
They all have
Oh
SoCs
yes.
now.
So
That's
this
another
is the
thing.
big deal. Thank
Yeah.
you. Yeah. The big deal is the thing that we've talked about with the Apple TV for ages. I'm not interested in Apple TV that I can't upgrade the guts that make the apps work.
Right.
Because they iterate so quickly on that.
Right.
Starting next year, with this year's models, there will be a slot into which you can put a card that will upgrade the guts of your TV into next year's model. So
Right.
that when you buy a TV, which you keep for 10 years, you can continue to upgrade the apps every year to support the latest, greatest.
Is there
assuming they actually support it.
Is it a real SoC inside that chip?
Yes.
Yes.
What did it look like? A USB stick, or is
It
it?
looks like a smart card, kind of. Like a PCMCIA card.
So that's good. So you don't have to worry about when you buy a smart TV that you're buying like a massive panel, heavy and expensive that is going to be obsolete in a year.
Right.
Because
You
know
you can
those
just
things.
modularly
Like we just
swap
did.
out. So basically, what it is, they've created like an Apple TV, but it just slots into the TV.
Exactly.
It's like the new Roku.
It's like the new Roku, but the
Yeah.
new Roku uses open standards.
Right.
This is a proprietary thing.
Okay.
Regardless, it is a good idea.
Well, that's good because it's upgradable.
Right.
You know, your TV is going to last
Yeah.
longer. It's not going to be out of date in a year or
And
so.
Samsung makes SoCs,
Right.
so they can update it, make
If-
it more efficient,
if
faster.
If the TV people want apps to work on TVs, this is absolutely
But
vital.
you're still locked into Samsung's system, which is
But that's
what
fine.
they want.
What type of connection is it?
It's
proprietary-
we couldn't say it. We
It
didn't.
was just a
It's
slot.
got to be a high bandwidth
It's a
connection.
slot. Yeah, I'm sure. Well, HDMI would do it. HDMI and power.
Okay.
Other things in the Samsung, they've launched a bunch of apps that are combining social inputs, almost Windows Phone 7 style, so that your whole family can have all of their social stuff on the fridge. and
Or
on the
you lost me
TV
at social.
and- okay.
I didn't write about that for a reason.
Yeah, it was pretty boring.
Yeah.
They talked about phone stuff.
Okay.
There's a couple of new Galaxy devices coming. There's a Galaxy Tab 7.7 LTE. They didn't say anything. It's interesting. Samsung never mentions what OS they're running on these devices. I assume it's probably gingerbread, maybe honeycomb.
Probably honeycomb.
Could be ice cream sandwich. I think that's unlikely.
The thing is,
It looked touch
CES,
whizzy though.
CES is not the place for a company like Samsung to announce
Right.
their new phones. They're waiting for CTIA, Mobile World Congress, and they'll say as much.
Samsung announced their new phone.
Yeah.
The Galaxy Note.
Well, no, actually, it's been out for a
new.
while.
Okay.
It's been out in Europe.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so CES is a place for Samsung to announce products they've released in other countries.
Oh, so second tier stuff.
Yes, because they finalized, partners in America, AT&T, Verizon,
Yeah.
and so they've announced LTE on those devices
Absolutely.
with a partnership and a carrier.
Now you guys know how I feel, where everything comes to Canada
Yeah.
after you guys.
It's a Lumia experience.
Yes.
Same thing. Yeah,
Okay.
because the carriers, those are the biggest barriers.
So the Galaxy Notes 5.3, it's a big.
It's not a
big
tablet.
phone.
It's not a phone.
It has a stylus. It has a multi. What do they call it? They call it the S.
Oh,
It's the S Pen.
I've seen this
Yeah.
device.
Right.
Yeah.
It has 256 pressure sensitivity points. It's
It's
not
a
for
wacko.
me. I'm sure somebody's really stoked about that.
Too sensitive?
I am a little sensitive, Norm.
Okay.
Delicate
I
flower.
am. I just don't. I don't see the real appeal of this.
It looks like a giant iPack.
No, it's 5
It looks like
inches.
a tiny iPad.
Yeah, it's a tiny iPad.
No, iPack. Remember the old
iPack.
yeah.
Oh.
It does kind of look like a
Oh
giant
God!
iPad.
Dude,
Why do you have to
iPads
remind
are
me
the
of that?
People love the iPad.
I like the. I had an iPad.
Compact iPad, ran
Yeah.
200 megahertz strong arm
I
processor
remember
from
the
Intel.
iPack.
Yeah.
Pocket PC OS.
It's back when
Windows
Intel
Window.
made ARM processors.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much it for Samsung, right? No movie stars.
No.
Nothing real dramatic.
We got TVs. We got.
So no reality distortion field.
we forgot the Ultrabooks.
Oh yeah, and they talked about Series 9, Series 7, Series 5.
Yeah.
Laptops. The Series 9, they're not calling Ultrabooks. I think they're probably
No.
faster than Ultrabooks.
This is the. It's so confusing. So they have the Series 9, which is half an inch thick, and
Yeah.
it's not an Ultrabook. They have the Series 5, which is 0.75 inches thick, and they call that an Ultrabook. It has a DVD drive. You can't call it an Ultrabook.
No, you can. Ultrabook doesn't
I-
mean no optical drive.
I know that, but I mean, my point is that, and I was telling you this earlier, when you add a DVD drive, you are adding thickness. It's unnecessary thickness that no longer makes it an Ultrabook.
Why are you so angry, Matt Braga?
What?
Why are you so angry? You used to be
Semantics.
affable and Canadian.
Semantics.
I can see why he's angry. It's we've talked about this before many times on the Tested podcast. We are at this point very much moving into, and I think we basically already are in a post-optical age. Why are they still putting these moribund drives that, as you say, make them bigger and heavier and noisier and more power consumption?
Mama likes to watch DVDs.
That's exactly it. It's when Netflix isn't dead and people are still renting DVDs, and when Redbox is still alive, some people have one computer, which is their TV and their computer. It's the same reason, and price too, and it's the same reason why people who sell cameras, companies who sell cameras, still have SD cameras. Makes no sense, but guess what?
What do you mean
50%
SD cameras?
standard definition cameras.
Oh.
Like
Video
camcorders.
cameras.
Video
Camcorders.
cameras.
Is this our tech elitism working against us here that
Probably.
we're not seeing what the
50
what the regular folks?
If you're
Yeah,
a grandmother
pictures.
and you
Yeah,
get
yeah.
a photo disc full of
Yeah.
CD pictures, it's
Yeah,
not really
exactly.
a photo disc anymore, but just a disc full of pictures, that's how you open it.
But then I wouldn't buy my grandmother. Like, I mean, I went through this recently with my grandfather, and if he needed a DVD drive, and he did, we didn't buy him an Ultrabook. We bought him a $400 laptop.
But does your grandfather not deserve a sub 4-pound laptop? Sub 3-pound
He
laptop?
treats it as a desktop. It sits on his desk and is hard plugged into the wall and never moves.
So the reason
Anyway.
Samsung doesn't want to call the Series 9 an Ultrabook is because they want to charge a lot more than $1,000
Yes,
for it.
that is it.
That is it. It's a Centrino thing. I mean, they don't care about Intel's war chests for Ultrabooks.
Right.
They want to sell a premium, quote-unquote, no compromises laptop.
No compromises. That's
No
another
compromises.
buzzword we heard
That's
a lot
another
of
word
today.
for
Yeah.
heavy.
Oh, yeah. So, you know what? Very true. So,
Yeah.
speaking of
Samsung.
Intel, because
Well, hold on.
Ultrabooks.
We want to run down Panasonic real quick. Wes, you went to
Well,
Panasonic.
Intel was right after LG, Ultrabooks.
Okay.
Speaking of
Should we,
Ultrabooks.
hold on. Questions about Samsung before we go on, Wes?
Yeah, we have a couple good questions about TVs before we move totally away
Okay.
from that. One, what do you guys think is the deal-breaking price for TV hardware cartridges? This comes from Jason DePlot.
I think it's $99. I think it's got to be same
$100.
price
Apple
as Apple
TV
TV.
or cheaper.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think the market is gonna want them to be the same price as the cable.
Right. If it's
Yeah.
$200, you
connected
should buy a
boxes.
Boxy.
Yeah,
Well,
you get a Roku for $50, you can get an Apple TV for $100. They're not going to want to go.
Well, you get the good
above that.
Roku's $80, I think.
Right.
So
But $100 is, I think, is definitely the
the
sweet spot.
Yeah, that's
you don't want to go
that's
over
where I
that.
feel.
Panel technology is what they'll be investing in and what they'll be trying to sell you. Last year, they tried to sell you on software on their TVs, you know, with slow SoCs built inside. This year, they realized they can't. That's not going to work, and so they're going to work on better panels, and then the SoC stuff will be.
The thing I fundamentally question is whether TV manufacturers have the software chops to actually make apps that you're going to want to use on a
Which
on
is
a TV.
why And we didn't go to this press conference, but Lenovo announced a Google TV or a TV running Google TV. So they'll adopt someone else's software.
So they're still pushing Google TV.
Well, this is all honeycomb-based Google TV. We haven't seen it yet, so
This is the new.
This is fixed.
Google going, okay, do over.
Yeah. Oops.
Wait
Yes.
a minute. Did they have that at Digital Experience tonight?
I have no idea.
Because I definitely saw something running Google TV on a real. Okay, so that was interesting. Okay.
Okay, back to Intel. Matt and Thomas and I went to Intel this morning. The room smelled a little. There was a little funk in there when we hit the door. You know, little gym socks, gym shorts situation in there. Free Wi-Fi. That was nice. Got a code. Free Wi-Fi for the rest of the day. That was thanks Intel.
Of course, it didn't work during the Intel presser. But.
It also didn't work during the Microsoft press conference. However,
would you rather
Yes.
be in a room all day
Yes.
that smelled quite pleasant but had shitty Wi-Fi, or be in a room that smelled horrible but had excellent Wi-Fi?
Am I working or am I there for fun?
Either or, whatever.
If I'm working, I take the Wi-Fi. If I'm having fun, I'll take the nice smell and a book.
I'll take the Wi-Fi always. Always.
I'm with him.
Well,
Yeah.
we can make your room smell bad.
You'll
It has
get
great Wi-Fi.
Listen, you'll eventually get used to the smell. You never get used to having shitty Wi-Fi.
That's true. That's a good point.
Yeah.
What if I just move away from the internet entirely? I'm just paper book.
Nope.
What are you fucking crazy?
What?
Paper book?
Sometimes you need to read a book.
Why don't we just start banging rocks together?
Peasants. What's wrong with Philistines? You people not reading
Just
books.
to run a tech website, and yet this
Books-
Luddite.
Reading is fundamental, Gary.
Yes, but why do you want to read in such a primitive
Well, if the
form?
Wi-Fi is shit, then I don't want to have to keep fiddling with tech. Believe me, I spent enough time today fiddling with Wi-Fi. My
Don't
approach
get him started.
when the Wi-Fi is bad, the last 24 hours have been the worst Wi-Fi 24 hours of my life. Last night?
I didn't see the full story, but I've just seen little.
I'm going to tell the story right now.
Apparently, a very fraught situation.
Last night was
Not
shit.
to get him started.
I went to bed at like 11 o'clock thinking, I'm going to get full night's sleep. Awesome.
Yeah.
Before I go to bed, all I have to do is set up internet in the hotel room. Fucking dead simple. Brand new router, Asus RT N13U. I'm calling him out because it is a fucking piece of shit. Okay? Sorry, Asus. I like most of your guys. RT N16, I have one at home. It's fantastic when I took off your terrible software and put DDWRT on it. I plug this in, plug the laptop in directly to the router because I can't keep Wi-Fi connected. I think, oh, maybe I need to update the firmware. Maybe I need to change some settings. Maybe something's jacked up. First off, the software, really, really bad. Just phenomenally bad.
Yeah, you go nuclear.
Yeah.
Why don't you just bring a router that you knew to be reliable?
Because the router I know to be reliable makes the internet work at my house. And we needed two routers. So
it's
I
only
have,
reliable at your house.
No.
He didn't want
My
to
wife
take
uses
Tina
it to
away.
have the internet.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
So I can't just take it
You
and
can't just
leave.
take it a
Would you
while.
take Leah's router?
No, she wouldn't like that.
Right, that wouldn't go well for any of us.
She had to go read books or something, right?
You have to
So,
read paper books like a caveman.
Oh.
so the router that I know to be reliable, the one that we've used in the past, is down here with production because they're doing serious work.
Right.
They need internet and they need it fast, and we do the
Yes.
streaming out of here, all that.
Yes.
I brought one that just was laying around the office and thought, this is good enough. We just need Wi-Fi. Everybody has MacBook Airs. We don't even need it's only 10100 Ethernet. We don't even need gigabit. It's fine. Fuck. So I can't maintain Wi-Fi connection. iPhone won't stay connected. iPad won't stay connected. Braga can stay connected. Wes has no love. Off and on.
It was like that for about 5 minutes, and then I was solid.
Oh, fucking A.
Yeah.
So I think, okay, I'm going to flash the firmware. I go look at the site. No, firmware's up to date. Everything's good.
Uh-huh.
So then I think, it's a DDWRT compatible router. I'll just go download that. It's real easy to install. You can just use the web interface. Boom. Download the build. Well, first off, I have to figure out whether it's the Rev A or the Rev B router, right? Most companies put a page on their site that says how to determine what your hardware is. Asus does that, but it's not Google searchable because the headline is a fucking picture. So you have to browse down through the tree. I haven't browsed a tree on a hardware website in years. I just go to Google. I type Linksys product name, version
that's what you
spec,
do.
and it takes you right to the fucking page.
Yeah.
No drilling down menus. Menus are for chumps.
Right.
No menus.
This is what a Geek Squad must feel like, listening to people rage
So-
about the router
Yeah, I
problem.
guess
I got so pissed off. I eventually said, "Hey, does anybody on the internet?" I posted to Twitter. Thank God Australia was awake at this point. This is 2:00 in the morning by now. Australia says, "Yeah, here's a page. I drilled down and found I'm an IT guy. I know how to do this." Fucking thank you. I should go look and see what your name is. Twitter was so crazy. I'll never find it. Whoever it was, God bless you. You're a wonderful human being.
Now we have Wi-Fi's.
Well, no. It gets worse.
Oh.
Rev A. We have the Rev A router. I go download the Rev A. I'm reading the instructions. It says, first, download the Windows Asus Flash Recovery Tool. You have a Mac? Matt has a Mac? Wes has a Mac?
It's pretty much all
I have a
Macs.
Mac. Gary has a Mac. Drew has a Mac.
There are no Windows machines.
Joey
here
has a
at all.
Mac. Thomas has a Mac. Does anybody have Boot Camp installed? No. Does anybody have Parallels installed? No. Does anybody have VirtualBox installed? Wait, I have Virtual. I have the build Windows 8 install.
Yeah.
Still on my... No, I deleted that a few months ago. I needed some space. I wanted to have the entire run of Curb Your Enthusiasm on my MacBook. Great. Oh, wait, we have TechNet. I can go to TechNet. TechNet is a magical resource. $300 a year, $250 a year. Every piece of Microsoft software ever made, download, try it out for testing purposes. This is clearly a test
10
of
licenses.
my patience. No, just 2 now. They
okay.
changed it. So I look at the smallest. I'm looking for what the smallest version of Windows you can download is. It's Windows XP, 500 megs.
Okay.
Boom. I'm gonna go do some business in the bathroom.
You downloaded Windows
Brush
XP
my teeth.
so you could
So
flash
in order to fix the router, you have to download the entire Windows operating system.
Boot Camp into
Install. No, I didn't even boot camp. I just installed into VirtualBox. Figure out how to configure the network right in VirtualBox so that it can see the router from inside my weird natted
My
virtual
God.
machine.
Holy shit!
Wow.
Yeah, it was some fucking MacGyver
This
shit
is the
that I
most
did.
Sherlock Holmes that shit
Yeah.
God.
situation I've ever
This is
seen
like
in my life.
escalator
Motherfucker.
repairman.
Is DDWRT on that router?
I don't know. You tell me.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't want to know how the sausage was made.
Do we
I
have the
just want
Wi-Fi? You just need the
Yeah.
juice.
Yeah, Wi-Fi worked when I got back to the
Oh
hotel
my
room.
God.
I
Everything
just
was
like seeing
dandy.
those little bars. I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
we have Wi-Fi.
Escalator works,
I have
fine.
solved the problem. Everything's good. But it was 3:00 in the morning when I went to bed, and I got up at
Wow.
6.
Wow.
So, fuck. Don't. If you're gonna buy Asus routers, be prepared to
Yeah.
remove the software.
You can almost say that about
Or
like,
configure it
every-
before you leave for Vegas.
every router.
That would have been a good move.
Is a crapshoot to some extent.
You know, I have to say, the third-party softwares, the user-generated softwares on routers are an amazing story because you would think that normally they would lag behind the real firmware, the guys that actually know how what hardware is in and are paid to work on it. And the dudes who make the third-party firmwares are amazing because they are almost universally bad. Now you have to read some. The directions are usually bad. They don't tell you things like how to tell Rev A from Rev B.
They're very specific to the hardware.
Real specific. You could there's a lot of potential for failure.
Yes.
Like
Yeah, and of course,
nuking
once
your
you
router.
do that, you're kind of entering a world where product support's not going to be able to help you anymore because you've gone off the
Yeah,
reservation.
but there's no product support anyway, so it doesn't
Right,
fucking matter.
right.
Most router companies.
Right.
Anyway,
I-
third-party
from
firmware.
I mean,
Oh,
I've never
I
anything
love
to
it.
your extent, but there have been many times when I've tried to get a wireless router working, and you pull up the PDF documentation, and you're trying to
Yeah.
you want to fucking put a gun in your mouth.
Fuck those guys.
Yeah.
So that was what I did last night, and then I go to Venetian, and it's constant battles with Wi-Fi all day long because it's
Really?
4,000 people
Sweet.
trying to
What's
connect
the
to
cell
250
tower
nodes.
clusterfuck?
It
Yeah.
worked
Yeah.
perfectly.
Well, but you weren't in high traffic.
Perfect.
Samsung was rough. Microsoft was rough. Nvidia, we had all the Wi-Fi.
I got to
we
say, the
needed.
wired internet that you have here in the suite, and then you've got it running wirelessly through the router,
Yeah.
it's a small internet oasis.
yeah.
in a barren
Yeah.
desert of
Yeah.
shit internet.
It's no mirage.
Yeah.
We're at the Planet Hollywood.
It's for real. Yeah.
So that's what I did last
there's
night,
a
and then
scene
all day
called
today.
The
saw
I
it.
got the joke.
It was funny. Ha ha. Intel
Too
opened.
tired to laugh.
Intel opened with the history of dance guy. He was wearing an Intel
Oh, the
lab
real guy
coat.
came out?
He stripped off his jacket, and then he did the history of dance and computers from the 60s to now.
They got a YouTube celebrity?
They got a YouTube. They got an old YouTube.
Well,
celebrity.
E-list celebrity.
That was the
Nice.
D-list guy you were
He at
referring
one point
to?
had
Yeah.
the most viewed videos on YouTube, and he was like dethroned by
2001 to 2004,
For a long time, he was the
2007.
number one dude on
Yeah.
YouTube.
and then dethroned by a
Gaga
pop
or
star or
something,
something. Yeah. I wouldn't be interested in seeing him perform.
So Intel started today, and I understand why they're doing this.
So why do they have the history of dance?
I don't have any
what was
fucking
their
clue.
connection?
They
There was no
tried to
connection.
justify it with history of computing, so they made him dance every era of
60s, 70s, 80s, 90s,
Yeah.
2000s.
How do you? I understand doing dances from different eras, but what do you do? Like interpretive dances of like 8-bit computing?
The
What fuck
connection
does
was
that mean?
pretty tenuous.
Is it like
Yeah.
Moore's law of
No.
of tempo?
no.
no.
There's a dude dancing. It was kind of cool. The music was upbeat. It got everybody a little bit pumped up at 8 o'clock in the morning, 9 o'clock
Did they
in
have
the
to
morning.
license every song?
I don't care. I don't know.
Yeah, I should've-
Gina knows
should've
that
can
shit. You
afford
can
it.
ask her. ASCAP probably.
Yeah.
So they didn't talk about any specifics of anything. They opened with a chart that said, "Here's our graphics performance like 5 years ago," and each subsequent generation got a little bit better. And then they showed Ivy Bridge, which is coming up soon,
Yeah.
indeterminate future.
It's a weird thing. They were
and
the
there's a
second,
squiggle.
the second press conference of the day, but they're not the type of company that you would associate with CES.
They always do a second press conference a day. It's
I
the
know.
time they've had for years.
But they don't actually have. They don't sell products. They're partners.
Well-
with other companies who have press conferences as well.
They
I mean,
used
it's
to
like
do
an NVIDIA.
roadmap. It used to just be, here's our roadmap for the next year.
But then they did
We're going to do this,
IDF,
and this, and this.
so it's all at IDF.
Well, but so this was pure marketing.
Okay.
This was basically saying, hey, we're looking at Ultrabooks as a Centrino. Yeah, Centrino obviously was the thing that the Wi-Fi marketing push.
Yep.
Basically, Centrino is just Intel chipset with Wi-Fi plus I guess a Pentium processor at the time. I can't remember.
It was a Pentium M.
Yeah, Pentium
and you
M,
needed
exactly.
Pentium M with the Intel Wi-Fi
Northbridge,
chip.
yeah.
So a lot of people who didn't want to pay Intel for that
No.
would just have a Pentium M with
Dun,
Wi-Fi's,
dun,
but
dun,
not
dun.
Centrino.
So Centrino, they're saying they're going to do a Centrino level push on Ultrabooks.
Okay.
They
Smart.
It's this whole press conference seemed like an apology about netbooks. Oops, guys, we realized maybe these things were really underpowered and kind of shitty for almost everyone.
Yes.
But you know we got it this time, and actually after having used an Ultrabook today, so okay. So,
And again, we've said this before, as much as we don't like netbooks very much, in the bigger picture of things, it was the necessary evolution.
It was a good
to
thing.
get us to Ultrabooks,
Yeah.
which
well,
are good.
and it
we like
pushed
those.
prices down. It pushed prices for computing down, and for people who only buy a computer every 10 years, a netbook is probably a pretty good upgrade over like a 2000 era PC in 2007.
And just like an Ultrabook would be a fantastic upgrade.
Oh, a
over
magical upgrade.
E-machines or an old
Yeah.
Dell.
So let's see, what else did they didn't talk about anything really. It was all about marketing stuff. It was all about supply chain. It was all about partners. They had a couple of kind of cool tech demos.
They had how do you pronounce it again? Do you remember? It was like Nikishi,
Nikishi.
something like that. It's really weird to explain. Essentially, what they did is they had a laptop and they replaced the palm rest and the trackpad with a transparent panel. It was a touch-sensitive transparent panel.
Patented.
Sorry.
Patented.
Patent. Yeah, that's
Patent
right.
pending.
Patented, so no one could steal it. And what happens is when you close the laptop, you can flip the laptop over onto the bottom, and because this is a transparent panel, you can still see a portion of the screen.
The top third.
Yes, so you can see the top third of the screen still, and because it's a touch panel on both sides, you can interact with the top of the screen.
What's showing there?
Metro tiles.
Yeah, Metro
Oh,
tiles.
it says Windows
and
8.
It's
Okay.
Windows 8.
Yeah. So they used their use case was,
So
this is a
weird.
great machine for people who don't want to carry around a tablet
Or
and
a
laptop.
smartphone.
Yeah, or a smartphone.
Yeah.
You just whip out your giant fucking laptop, flip it over, and use your little
But
Metro window.
there's two types of products that you see at CS. There's stuff that's coming out in 3 months and stuff that's coming out never, but is cool. This is something it's novel and weird. It's never gonna be a product.
But I mean, like the interesting thing to me was that they first showed this at Computex.
yeah, they showed it last
So
year
I
at
mean,
CES.
the
too.
fact that they've actually gone and revamped it and made it look a lot nicer than it did before. I mean, I'm not saying it's going to become a product, but obviously this is something that's on their mind.
This is for Today Show clips. That's why they do stuff like this.
Fair.
Literally, nightly news, Today Show, all that kind of mainstream.
It's a good photo op.
Right.
This is kind of the tech equivalent of the fashion show.
It
Where
really
the models
is.
come out in the outrageous clothes that no one's ever actually going to wear.
And
but-
then the ready wear stuff comes in the next
Right,
round.
right.
Didn't Wes
Speaking-
describe it as an actual
Speaking
fashion
of
show?
fashion shows.
Wes,
Well, so let's talk about
What was
well,
fashion
finish off
show?
We should
Intel.
finish Intel.
finish into okay.
So they showed a lot of touch stuff.
Yeah.
They have
They want to push touch screens on Ultrabooks now. So Intel is convinced that by making Ultrabook screens touch screens as well, they've hit upon this magical sort of
Hold on. They said they did a ton of market research,
Yeah.
and they did a ton of actual studies, and they said that people don't get tired of waving their arms around because you actually it's just real brief movements.
Nope.
Boom, boom, boom.
Wrong.
They had a picture of a pretty girl with an Ultrabook, and she had her elbow on the table,
I'll get behind that.
touching the thing, and everybody's sitting there, and not one dude realized that there was a notebook on the table.
Did you read any of those quotes though? Because those, like, I know they
No,
were.
I didn't. There were quotes.
Oh, there was quotes, and the quotes on the screen were like they were really sort of trepidatious. There would be
right.
people who, yeah, I like using the keyboard, but I guess the touch screen is okay.
Well, but
like, it was really wishy-washy stuff like that, which I know what they were trying to prove, but it was a weird way to push
Here's
it.
the thing about touchscreen on laptops. Every one of us has at some point taken your fingers from the keyboard, lifted up, and reached toward the screen if you've used an iPad for any period of time.
No way.
No, that's not.
No
Never do
way.
it?
No.
I do it.
Maybe like 4 a.m. if you're high and delirious or something. No,
you'd have to be-
way.
I do it right now.
You'd have
Yeah.
to be seriously.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
No
mentally
way.
deficient
You've never.
state.
Okay, never mind then. I'm mentally deficient, I guess. I've done it on multiple occasions.
No,
You've
not like
used
not
keyboard
mentally
and mouse,
deficient like all the time.
Yeah.
but
Maybe
like,
stepped away from the computer, came back, and tried to
No.
scroll up or something.
No. I just not even thinking about it. You just reach out and do boom,
No.
no, that's no.
Wesley,
no.
what's the chat saying? Agree or disagree with me?
About what?
Whether you've reached out and touched the screen of your laptop. This might be a first world problem.
They're just talking about
Mass Effect 3,
other stuff.
probably.
Yeah, they're no.
So we know we've lost them.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of an anti-touch screen sentiment.
I agree. If it's free and doesn't make the laptop any heavier, I'm okay with it.
Sure.
They also showed camera-based Kinect mimicking, more Kinect envy, lots of Kinect envy
That was a
today.
terrible demo too.
It was real rough because it was clearly not doing anything. They did a couple of real bad tech demos. There was a physics demo that the physics was running about 5 frames a second that may or may not have been on Ivy Bridge. It could have been on Sandy Bridge. It's really unclear. They didn't say this demo's on Ivy Bridge, this demo's on Sandy Bridge, so we don't know which ones were which. They did an F1 racing demo that was just some video playback, which is really, really... I mean, we were talking to Mark Rain earlier. There are reasons that happens, usually having to do with bad drivers or crashy demos or whatever. You don't want to have a demo crash.
Right.
Don't ever try to pass that off as an actual render. Just say, hey, here's a video that we rendered of this thing playing some game.
Yeah.
This happened because the guy running the demo clicked the screen instead of hitting space bar, so the VLC player popped up.
So they got
Real,
busted.
totally caught.
Wow.
Totally caught.
Stone cold busted.
Yeah, it was real bad.
Well, I mean, it was suspect too when he was sitting behind the wheel and turning it for a bit, and then stood up and walked away.
Well, and he said,
Yeah.
we're controlling from behind stage. And we're like, no, dude, we
No.
just saw you hit the fucking play button on the video. Lame.
That's just insulting to everyone.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big finger. So, at the end, they did the old Apple trick where they said, reach under your chairs. And
That's an Oprah trick, isn't it?
Oprah
It is
does
an
it
Oprah
too.
trick.
But Oprah does it for everybody. They just
Everyone
did it for 50
gets a
people.
car.
So you reach under your chair, and there's a pouch, and in the pouch is an Ultrabook.
Yep.
And then you go trade a business card for the charger for the Ultrabook. Matt was the lucky winner of an Ultrabook. We're going to quick
Oh,
look
because
at
the Ultrabook is
It's
useless.
an Asus
Unless they
Aspire.
give you the
Well, you got
S3.
7 hours.
Okay.
S3, is that what it
S3.
is? Yeah. It's a nice, it's an okay machine. I used it most of the day.
Sorry, no, it was an Asus Zenbook S3. Or
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I get Acer.
Doesn't
yeah.
matter.
It was really shiny.
It was very
Yes.
shiny. It's an Asus Ultrabook, basically, is the upshot.
Got a $1,000 thin Ultrabook.
Yeah, so we'll figure out
Not bad haul.
some way to dispense of that with the users in mind or something, or we'll give it to kids, or we'll destroy it in some
Where is
novel
it?
way. It's in my bag over there.
Why
I
aren't
bet-
we showing
yeah,
us a
exactly.
picture?
well, we're all wired in. Oh, Matt's not. Matt, you could go grab it. Sure.
And you've been using it all day.
I've been using it all day.
It's your first experience with the Ultrabook?
It's my first experience. Well, I used a MacBook Air,
It's
which
not
is
an Ultrabook.
MacBook Air is arguably the same exact thing
when
as
I,
an Ultrabook.
no, when I say Ultrabook, I mean the Intel
Right there,
response to
Matt.
the MacBook Air.
But okay, so the difference between an Ultrabook and a MacBook Air is that
when
an
I say
Ultrabook.
I'd say very specifically the Intel response to the
Yeah.
MacBook Air is your first experience as
Yes.
a MacBook Air competitor.
Yes. There's some common problems I've had with Asus laptops for a very long time. One is that they get the shittiest trackpads in the world. This is not the worst Asus trackpad I've ever used.
Pretty
It is
fucking bad.
not a good trackpad. The other thing is that the keyboard is a little janky in that the hitting the shift key sometimes just does nothing. That's always a bad sign on a keyboard.
This form factor, this is the most MacBook Air-like Ultrabook I've seen yet.
Yeah.
There are some others that are a little bit more so.
It's
but-
got the
Huge
unibody
drop.
feel. It's
Yeah.
got the kind of the wedge
Yeah.
form factor. I'm
Yeah.
not sure. Like you have the 13-inch.
I have the 11-inch.
11
How does
inch.
this compare? I'm trying to figure out like how this compares to the 13-inch
It's
MacBook.
very, very. I had
It's
one
very.
of those
It's
for
the
a
This is
closest,
like
it's the
six.
closest one, right?
2.5 pounds, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Has
The-
a nice screen. 13-inch screen.
The
right?
screen's
It's okay. The viewing angle is kind of janky.
Yeah, it
but,
looks real weird from up
no,
here.
this-
The things that Intel is responsible for, the things that they control, like boot time and things like that, are really impressive. It boots very fast,
Yeah.
several
SSD?
seconds. 128 gig SSD, I believe. Boot
like
time
this kind of
resume from
burnished-
standby.
Finish
Yeah.
on the top.
If you open
Too
that up,
shiny.
open that up
Right.
facing the camera, Norm, so
But
they can
it's
see
different.
the,
I mean,
the
I
resume
can give them
time.
points for that.
And battery life was really impressive. I used it all day on one charge, basically. Got like 6-7 hours worth out
I
of
like
it.
the whole brushed metal.
It's
kind of look. It's even on
not
the
bad
keys.
looking. And it doesn't get real fingerprinty, which I approve of.
That's
And what do we
probably
have?
what
And what do
I'm
we have over here? Like mini USB,
display port.
mini display port.
Okay.
Yeah,
Regular USB. Let me see over here.
it's a
USB
USB and
3.0.
No HDMI. That's a
power. We'll do a full
No,
quick
but you
look
can
of
do it
this.
over display port.
Oh, of
I
course,
think
of course you can,
actually
yeah.
the adapter in the box is a mini display port to
Right,
the
right,
VGA.
HDMI.
Yeah.
I like it. This
Well-
okay. This is the best Ultrabook I've seen. I think.
How many Ultrabooks have you seen?
Well, a few.
Okay.
Just based on aesthetics, this is the one I like the best.
Okay.
It's
I don't know how
it's
good it is.
definitely one of the best looking ones.
Okay. Snap Judgments by Gary Whitta happening right here. We'll do a quick look. I'll spend more time with it. We'll do a quick look when we're back in the office, and we'll give it away or destroy it on camera or do something stupid.
Is
That was
all
Intel. We did the Kinect thing. We did the Holy thing. There were a bunch of Ultrabooks on stage. They talked about they spent $600 million getting components that are required. They talked a lot about shrinking measurements down.
300 million.
300
That was the fund.
Okay.
Yeah.
You talked about the measurement shrinking.
Yeah, it was
in your story.
there was things like they wanted to decrease the size of the screen from or the thickness of the screen from what was
Yeah.
it like 5
to
millimeters
2
3
millimeters or something like
and-
that. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was. I mean, they decreased the sizes of all the components by a few millimeters, which doesn't sound like a lot, but
Wesley Fenlon, any questions from people about Intel stuff? Ultrabooks.
About Intel? No, not questions. They're just talking a lot. They're talking about creaky MacBook Airs.
Okay.
creaky.
Creaky? What do you mean, like the hinge, the screen? opening?
No, the metal. Like if you
Wobbly.
pinch the MacBook
yeah.
Air, you can hear some sort of metal
Oh,
flex
right.
in there.
This feels very solid.
Somebody asked
like
if
that.
it creaks
Does
like the Air.
does it open all the way?
I don't
do you
think it
mean?
opens flat. It might be. It might. It
I
has.
I missed the day. I don't think it does. I missed the day
the Lenovo hinge.
when
Why
you have
would
a
you
good
want that?
hinge that can open flat,
So you lay in bed.
vertical. I don't know.
Yeah, you get it up high. So that's Intel. After that, you guys went to where did you go next?
Sharp.
Oh, from Sharp Minds come Sharp Products. Was Sulu there?
Like, no, Sulu wasn't there.
Was Sulu there?
Sulu wasn't there.
Did they have Quattro TVs with 4
They
colors?
did
including
have
yellow?
Quattro TVs.
It's the 100th anniversary of Sharp.
Yes, this year is Sharp has been around for a long time.
Did they give you a history? I hate the press conference
Yes.
history lesson.
They did a
Love-
little
love
history.
the history?
We
lesson.
went to Pioneer and they gave us the history of digital music, revolutionizing and destroying the music industry.
No, I don't want
That was awful.
the history lesson
Real
about the
bad.
music industry. I want the history lesson of what they did for the music industry.
I don't want
So
any
Sharp
history lesson.
talked about having very early cell phones and first solar panels, all the crazy things they've done. The only two things worth mentioning from the Sharp presentation.
I had a Sharp calculator in like
Yeah,
1981.
I'm
exactly.
trying to think if I ever owned a Sharp product. I don't think I did.
Must not have a Sharp
Oh.
mind. I did.
Two things. One, they had an 80-inch TV that
Yes,
they
I
had
saw that.
on top of a smart car.
Right, it was huge.
Why
was
would you
huge.
put a TV on top of a smart card? That makes no sense.
Well,
Because
I
the car's
think-
small and the TV's big.
The
So
scale.
So it makes the TV look
Yeah,
bigger.
makes even
The TV
bigger.
look huge.
It's like
Yes.
it's like wearing platform shoes and getting a pimp cane if you're short.
Yeah.
Okay, if you like.
yeah.
What else, Norm?
And at the end of their presentation, they had 5 models walk on stage carrying TVs, holding TVs in their hands.
Okay.
And the TVs were running with video on them.
Oh.
Not
Hold on.
plugged in to anything, no cables.
Wait, they're boombox TVs.
Boombox portable TVs.
Why do you need such a thing?
So this is amazing. I found this fascinating because there's also racism in this one. They had a range of TVs from 20 inches, I think maybe like 40 or 60 inches, that were portable. And the 20-inch TV is so light, I think it's 5 pounds, it even has handles on it. I have no idea why you would want a TV in your house with handles.
How do you think this product? Do you
Well,
think
portable, even though there used to be old CRT portable TVs that had handles on.
in a modern home, what are you going to do? Move the TV
I had a
from the
13-inch
kitchen
TV
to the
with
bedroom?
Yeah, I
Why,
mean,
why do you need a handle on your
well,
TV?
you go take it to the vacation house. You know, I just wonder.
Play
You
it in
think
the car? I mean, you got to use HDMI in it. It's a monitor at that point.
was this conversation that ended up with this product being made? Was it a hey, what can we put on a TV that nobody else has done?
Yeah,
And they go
probably.
down a list of things
Yeah.
like a popcorn popper.
Yes.
And like
They
a
call
fan.
They call it the freestyle.
Oh god.
Bottle opener.
Oh, my bottle openers.
Here's the racism part. So all the people they had, I mean, maybe it was a practicality thing, but they're the big black dude holding the biggest TV.
Yeah, it didn't have anything to do with that. Everyone else was like a 120-pound model, and that guy was 6'3",
Yes.
and could
Yeah.
hold a 40-inch TV.
I'm uncomfortable with the direction this conversation is going. I think we should
Anyway,
change
when we
tracks.
talked about being a pageant,
Yes.
and it being like a runway,
This is a fashion show.
They did
Oh,
a
I
literal
see.
runway. They brought the models out with the TVs and
Was Heidi
walked
Klum
them
there?
down the aisle,
Right.
and danced with the TVs a little bit, and
Right.
then brought them back up on stage.
Okay.
Was Heidi Klum there?
Heidi Klum was up there. Yeah. Sharp also had no celebrities. If Sharp had George Takei, if Sharp
Yeah.
had Sulu, I think Reality Distortion Field would have
Are
been
they
in
still
full
pushing
effect.
that our TVs have yellow thing, or do they not?
Quattro.
Yeah.
Quattro is yellow, starring George Takei. Not
Right.
racist at all.
Right.
Super not racist. It was because he wore a yellow shirt on Star Trek.
That's exactly why they used him for the
Right.
We have yellow in
Right,
our TVs now.
he's the next captain. He's
Yeah.
the con.
Sure.
Yeah.
The Sharp was underwhelming.
Okay.
So the next thing was
Well, hold on. Let's. I actually skipped Pioneer. Go on.
the next thing was Pioneer.
Oh, Pioneer.
You want to skip that?
We went to
Okay.
Pioneer.
All right.
They talked about terrestrial radio and radio stations they listen to as children.
Who's bought a Pioneer product recently?
I
That's
used
like-
to have a Pioneer receiver.
Car-
They did,
yeah,
this is
like I
all
said,
car stuff.
They do decent receivers. Yes.
I
I
mean,
have a
they're in
Pioneer
the
laser
Onkyo
displayer.
space. I have a Pioneer laser displayer. We use it a lot.
Yeah, like a karaoke machine. Pioneer made karaoke machines.
Yep. They made Blu-ray. Those TVs, the Cura TVs they make are really awesome. But they're
Yeah,
very
they made,
expensive.
for a while there, they made the best plasma TVs on the market.
Yeah, and
You know, I just realized.
LCDs
You know
too.
who didn't have a press conference today?
Casio.
Toshiba.
Well, Casio canceled theirs.
The Casio did cancel theirs. I don't know what the
We have
story
no
was
idea
behind
why.
that. And that's why everyone in the Casio line went to Samsung.
Toshiba's later this week.
Oh, okay.
Toshiba's
So they
in the
will have a
morning
press
one time.
conference.
Yeah, I think.
Okay, it's not because like they blew all their money on HD DVD. And I mean, last year Toshiba was very unexciting as well.
Yes.
I haven't heard anything yet that's that exciting.
Well, but wait, there's more.
All right, come on.
So-
So tell me you're saving the best
Okay.
for last.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right,
Best
good.
for
Okay,
last.
good.
The best was definitely there was
Second
a
to
peak.
last.
Yeah. So Sharp boring, Samsung okay, no real celebrities. Or
Well,
anything.
it's not even about celebrities. It's
no,
just
no real spectacle.
the Samsung's going to do I think 75-inch TVs this year. So your TV is now no longer the biggest TV that they sell.
As a plasma or TV period?
Unclear.
I
Those
can
were
live with
LCDs.
that.
Yeah.
It seems like LCDs are going to get big this year, bigger,
Okay. More practical, you mean?
more practical at that large size.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it used to be when you walk into like Magnolia, you know, they would have the LCD as the big TV in the front, but that's out of everyone's price range.
Right.
And they kind of direct you then to the plasmas, the more
Right.
affordable ones.
Right.
Now it's more LCDs everywhere.
Wes went to Panasonic. What happened in Panasonic, Wes?
93% of Panasonic's TVs this year 3D.
Congratulations.
Okay.
Actually, that's just their plasmas. 40% of their LCDs are going to be 3D.
I'm out. Never mind.
That was the whole conference.
That was it?
No, but wait, there's more. Wasn't Justin Timberlake there?
Oh, don't spoil it.
Viera.
Tell the story.
So Viera Cast, I believe, is what their smart TV apps program
Yeah,
Yes.
is called. And this year it has been reborn, better, faster, stronger as Smart Viera.
So how are they adding Smart Viera to people who bought last year's TVs?
They are not.
Awesome.
No, we're screwed.
Yes.
You know, I'm not that worried.
But since
I'll
we
be
never,
frank.
but since we never use it, who cares?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean,
another spin thing
what's-
that they
what-
do. They say that they have the apps built in, so they have an ecosystem of 10 million to 100 million appliances, devices.
Oh, hold
that
on. Do
have
they
their
count the apps?
They do.
TVs times the number of apps pre-installed? That is horse shit.
If it's pre-installed, you have it. You're part of the market.
Even if you never look
I'm
at it,
uninstalling
you
all
know
that
it, know
stuff.
it exists.
Never ever open.
I'm unplugging Ethernet from my TV. That's how you beat these bastards. How is Smart Viera improved over previous Viera cast?
You know, the thing is, they really didn't talk specifics. Like they announced the names of their TV models for this year, like VT series, GT series, and stuff. Didn't talk about any specifics of those models in terms of sizes or pricing or any specs. They really didn't talk much about the apps at all, and I can't remember it.
What a
too
vote
well.
of confidence.
This sounds
But
awful.
it was very much just, you know, better performance.
Ugh.
We've got some new stuff. That's when Justin Timberlake came
So-
into the picture.
Explain the MySpace connection. What was that about?
So I guess Justin Timberlake owns some stake of MySpace. And,
I thought that was Sean Parker.
And
No, you're getting them confused now. He played Sean Parker in the movie Social Network, and because he's
Wait.
a method actor, I guess he thinks he's a big shot, angel investor now.
Oh.
And so now Justin Timberlake totally is all about the investings.
So to Panasonic's credit, they do seem to legitimately care about the apps that they're putting on their TVs,
Yeah.
because they had several partnerships that they were excited to talk about at this thing. There's this Myspace TV, which is this social layer for talking to your friends and experiencing TV at the same time as them.
Well, wait a tick.
Yeah.
Matt, how many of your friends are on MySpace right now?
What?
How many of your friends are on MySpace? Number.
I can't wait for Samsung to come punching back with Friendster TV.
Give me a number of friends that you have on
Orchid.
MySpace.
0.
Orchid
Gary
TV.
Whitta, you're a little outside the demographic, but how many friends do you have on MySpace right now?
0.
Norm, how many friends do you have on MySpace right now?
I don't know, 0.
You had a MySpace
It's
account?
not even really for that anymore, is it? It's kind of a music site.
No,
just
it's not for
bands.
music anymore. This is what Matt. This
It
is
was
what-
for music for a while, and then I
Yeah.
think that went away.
Oh
so
my
my
God.
point is, they had the MySpace thing. They have Disney. There's some Disney like interactive storybook thing that they're doing
What?
as an app for Veracast. So they're clearly trying, but the thing is, I don't think anybody really cares.
I
about
am going to
those
go out
apps.
on a limb and predict that MySpace TV will not be a runaway success.
they're going to install.
Will you put that on an egg, Gary?
You can put it on any kind of egg that you want.
They're going to
That's
sell.
a limb that's like
Ostrich egg.
Remember, Gary.
4 feet long, like 5 foot wide.
It's
sturdiest
a
limb.
concrete reinforced limb.
Made of, like with Gorilla Glass around it.
Yeah. Yes.
The termite.
And also I'm wearing like all kinds of safety harnesses and shit.
The termite at the branch of that limb that's gnawing away at it is that they're going to pre-install MySpace on every TV they sell.
Yeah.
So regardless of whether anybody uses it or
They can
not,
say they have an
they can
installed
say
base of
4
blah,
million
blah, blah.
MySpace. Yeah, it's a runaway success.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think Tom will still be your number one friend on there?
I don't think they do that anymore.
No?
No, he's all on Google Plus now.
Yeah.
He is a Google Plus
right.
champion.
Yeah. Tom.
Dude bailed early.
I forget. I never had a MySpace account.
Who
I
has
bypassed
more
that
friends
entirely.
on Google Plus, Gary Whitta or Tom for MySpace?
Oh man, you might be
probably Tom. I think he's got tons.
you might be more popular than Tom, Gary.
God, what's next? GeoCities TV?
I miss GeoCities. Where else could you get all those under construction signs?
Angel Fire.
GeoCities
Oh, Angel
Archive?
Fire. Good call. No,
And they did a deal
That's
with
what-
Lycos web crawler for built-in browser in your
You're just
TV.
naming like early
I'm
thousands
naming
websites
lots of
now.
old, dead
Alta
internet
Vista,
things.
Yeah.
Yes.
Excite.
oh boy.
Oh
Yes,
God,
James
Excite!
Oh.
Oh shit!
Ask.
What was the one where every time
Oh,
you
wait,
did a
that's
search you
so
could win? Was it iWin or eWin? What was that?
Oh,
Where you-
eWin.
eWin. You could
eWin.
win
You used to put
prizes.
E in front of words, and then it
Excite.
become a new site.
Yeah, they spent all that money, remember? And it was going to be the big search engine, and look what happened.
Yep.
Nothing
Yeah.
happened.
Did
Did
search
anybody,
engine becomes
did anybody
ISPs.
download freeware games on 2 Cows?
Two Cows is a
Cows.
Canadian company too.
What
That
was
was-
the other
that was
one?
the place to
Happy Puppy.
It's still around.
You got
Happy
patches on
Puppy.
Happy Puppy.
Holy
Wow.
shit! We're
Yeah.
getting your
Whoa.
impressive, dude.
I spent
Happy
a lot.
Puppy.
I've downloaded a lot of Quake mods from Happy Puppy, man.
Wow.
Yeah. So anything else? Panasonic West. That was it, right?
That was pretty much it.
And that's why Justin Timberlake came out on stage. Did he do a dance? Did he?
Did he have
No,
anything in a box?
He made a Dick in a Box reference.
Oh my God.
It was maybe the
Wow.
highlight.
So this whole thing was about old memes and old shit that
It
nobody
was probably
likes
the
anymore.
best part of the conference.
Dick and a Vieira?
No, he just made a very subtle SNL. It wasn't subtle at all. He was like, you can look up your favorite SNL star on MySpace TV. dick in a box.
I'm going to tell you a
yada,
secret
yada.
about
I
CES.
bet you these TVs have a hamster dance screensaver.
Oh, boy. After Panasonic, I went into Nvidia briefly. You were in Nokia during that. You got to see Stephen Elop, the affable Stephen Elop with your own eyes.
That was awesome. So you thought the Samsung press conference line was long. Yeah, and indeed it was.
It was pretty epic.
Everyone who didn't get into that either went to Panasonic or Nokia.
We were like number 10 in the Samsung line.
Oh yeah, because
We got chat and cutted like a motherfucker today, by the way.
But did you get good seats at least?
Well, people chatted and cut it on us. Of course we got good seats. Well,
Did you sit in the front?
No, we got bad seats because we had to wait for Braga.
What do you mean?
Because you were in the bathroom, we were going into Samsung in the
Oh,
line.
right,
so the
right.
crowd surged past us and we lost the window.
That's
That's lame.
we were fine.
No, we were way far back. We might as well watch the feed, but it was okay. It doesn't matter. It was a boring press conference
Nokia had a
anyway.
massive line as well, and I think they turned away 75% of the people.
Can you say like Ballmer?
Nokia had a massive line. They couldn't fill the room. It was a small room, tiny room for Nokia.
They couldn't fill it?
They couldn't. They
they
couldn't fill
overfilled.
it. Yeah, they way overfilled.
Okay.
Yeah, they couldn't fit everyone in. And Stephen Elop, who I've never seen before in person, he's the CEO of Nokia. Nicest guy ever.
How does he pronounce it? Because I would take that.
He
Canadian.
says Nokia.
Nokia.
Is he Canadian?
He lived in Canada for a while. I can't remember if he's actually a
This is
Canadian.
a superpower.
I know.
Matt Braga's superpowers, he can tell you anyways. Wes, I want the chat to give us 10 names right now. Random people, may or may not be Canadians. Don't do any Jim Carrey, Mike Myers bullshit.
Yeah.
Nothing easy. We want some real singers. Drop Katie Couric in there.
We're bringing him in. Come on.
This is going to be like a horrible...
Don't look at your phone.
Don't
No,
look at
I'm
your
looking
phone.
up Stephen Elop.
Stephen Elop.
Is there a
CEO of
database?
Nokia.
International Canadian Registry?
He's getting on the secret Canadian.
All right, so when I
darknet that
start
you're
reading
not
out
allowed to get
names,
on.
who's going to confirm if they're right or not? Is that me too?
You can, yeah, you just confirm them.
So
Sorry,
this
dude.
is so this is
List out
this is a
names in-
Canadian or not quiz.
Yes.
Canadian.
God.
Ladies and gentlemen, our
Yep.
first dumb segment.
Stephen Elop, born in Ancaster, Ontario, Canada.
He looks Canadian.
He is
Flappy
straight
head.
up Canadian.
Yeah, dude. No wonder he was so nice.
Yeah.
See, and
Affable.
he's the
Yeah.
first non-Fin
He's
to be
running
named
a
CEO
company
of Nokia.
Wow.
that hasn't
Yeah.
made money and hasn't really released a phone in the U.S. Abandoned
Well,
the U.S. market
and-
after dominating it.
And there's a pretty big contingent of people on the internet that think that Stephen Elop is a Manchurian candidate for Microsoft going into Nokia.
You know what?
I think it's true.
After the conference today, press conference today, I
Yeah.
would not be surprised about that at all.
Absolutely true, 100%.
So let's play this little game.
Okay.
Give us a name,
Wes, you have
Wes.
names?
All right, Parker Posey.
Oh, this
I
is
see,
a
this
stumper.
Who the fuck's Parker Posey?
Are you kidding me?
Off the couch, Braga.
Oh man,
You're off the show.
This is like this is high up
No.
with his.
I'm gonna guess yes.
I'm gonna guess yes. Well, she seems very Canadian.
I say no.
She's
I'm
kind of
also
perky.
no.
Before answering, I just want to say if you guys haven't seen the movie Kicking and Screaming,
Yes.
from the
Not
mid-90s,
the soccer one, but
not
the
the
good
soccer
one,
one,
the Jim
from
Linklater one.
1996, Noah Baumbach, great movie.
Noah
Parker
Baumbach,
Posey's
that's
in it. She is American.
Fuck yes.
Oh, we got it wrong right away.
Okay.
Born in
Yours was a guess. I knew.
born in Baltimore, Maryland.
Okay.
All right.
What else we got? Give us another one. Real stinger here. If you're just joining us, this is CS 2012. This is Day Zero live stream. We're talking about press conferences. Right now we're playing Stump the Canadian with Matt Braga. Matt's superpower is that he knows whether people are Canadian or not.
Yeah.
With so far, 100% accuracy. It's uncanny.
Wouldn't it be great if CES stood for the Canadian Electronics Show?
No.
That would be terrible.
No.
Be just a bunch of beaver-powered stuff.
Wait, did you just say 100% accuracy? He got that wrong.
No, he got it right.
No, I got it right. I
Yeah.
said no.
You said
Yeah.
no? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, we were
I
actually
thought
said
I
yes.
stopped
Gary-
listening after you said you didn't know who she was.
Gary, that's the right answer, Wes. Well done.
Okay, number 2, Steve Martin.
Ooh,
Oh, shit.
He's a comedian. Canadians are traditionally funny.
Canadian.
Texan.
Really?
Boom!
Boom.
Never mind. This game sucks. Braga
Yeah,
loses.
But the chat has done a really good job of naming famous people.
The ones that kind of
don't-
feel like
kind of feel
they
like
could go either way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm,
Yeah. And Wes is culling out the best of them.
I'm
Yeah.
thinking of who's Naked Gun? It's what's his face?
Oh,
Leslie Nielsen.
Leslie Nielsen.
No,
yeah.
no. You can't mistake Steve
Okay,
Martin for
okay,
Leslie
okay.
Nielsen. Don't
Yeah,
cover
you're just
own your
compounding the
failure.
error at this point.
Because Leslie Nielsen's American too.
Okay.
We'll go one more.
One more, then we'll go back to talking about CES.
Just one more? Oh, man.
We'll come back to this later. Save this list.
All right, Christopher Plummer.
Oh, Canadian.
Canadian.
Definitely.
Wow.
He acted in Shakespeare in we have a town just north of Toronto. That
Has
plays
he earned
Shakespeare.
any medals? Canadian medals, like
Order of Canada?
Yeah, something
Probably,
like that.
yeah. He must have at this point.
He seems like a
Yeah.
Canadian national treasure.
He played
like Bryan Adams.
Yeah, he did King Lear and all that.
Okay.
That's
Right. Now's also a good time
Yeah.
to mention that we have
Nokia.
merch.
Oh, we do have merch.
Yes.
Damn, we've not talked about that at all tonight. Go ahead, Norm.
We have merch. We have a poster and a T-shirt that we started put on sale yesterday. The poster of us designed by Turbo Toaster. It's on the site tested.com right now, and also the T-shirt is of Gary Whitta.
The T-shirt's
Blockhead.
full of wonderful surprises.
Yes, that's all. It was also designed by a friend of whiskey, BuzzClick. You buy both the shirt and the poster. We'll toss in a sticker, and we're also going to sign all the posters.
Yeah.
I hear sales have been quite brisk so far.
It's been a good day. We've moved some product, and this stuff's only available this week. This
Yes.
is CES special. The Gary Whitta blockhead shirt. It follows in the grand tradition of the Norman Will blockhead shirt. If you want to have the complete set, you can get one for your kid, and then you can wear the tested Will and Norm, and you put the baby in the Gary shirt, and it's like you're get matchy,
Yep.
but without too matchy.
Without
why
any
not?
borderline homoeroticism.
Yes, thanks for putting a fine point. on that.
I feel kind of privileged that I have a shirt all to myself, whereas you guys kind of
We'll
share
have to
one
make
between you.
we'll have to make our own shirts
Yeah.
later.
Yeah.
So this stuff's going off sale on Friday at 5 p.m. PST. So between now and then, skip a couple of meals if you want a T-shirt.
After that, it goes back in the vault like a Disney
It's
movie.
not. Yes, back in the vault with the Disney movies. We're just gonna go to Disney and put the shirt design in the vault. We're gonna sneak it in with Snow White.
There's no action.
Is anyone else getting a
And
real
the
like
Aristocats.
hour 19 of Oktobercast vibe from this episode?
We're into the death march
we
phase
are
of this
definitely
podcast.
really in the
really
grim-
tired.
The grim hallucinogenic phase.
Yeah. Okay,
Nokia. I would say
Nokia?
Nokia. The press conference was
What did
the
they
first
announce?
strong. There was an announcement, but I think I would also argue that it was the first strong reality distortion effect of the show for me.
Ah, okay.
Like the first time you were sitting there, you thought everything they say is true.
Yes,
See, this
I didn't have that
So
at
you
all
were
today.
drinking the Kool-Aid.
I was definitely drinking the Nokia Kool-Aid. One, because had no expectation about Stephen Elup, and he surprised me with how earnest and straightforward he was.
Mm-hmm.
He did a Q&A, which they never do at these press conferences.
That's crazy with that many
He
people in the
answered
room.
a 15-minute Q&A, and he looked them straight in the face and gave them a straight answer.
Wow.
He talked about how they know they're behind, and they consider it a war of ecosystems, and they're trying to establish beachfronts all over the world with their cheap phones and their high-end phones. The announcement was something we all
Did we
wanted
ask
to hear
about data
about.
plan?
Well, he doesn't take care of the data plan. That's on him.
He has some pressure. He can apply a little bit of
All right.
juice.
What's the big
The announcement
big
was
news?
the Nokia Lumia 900,
Ooh.
4.3 inch.
Because we like the
AMOLED.
800.
It's just like the 800, but bigger and with LTE.
Same resolution screen, bigger screen.
That
Yes.
sounds fantastic.
And
Yeah.
with a better camera on the back.
Yeah, and a
With the
front-facing
same
camera.
kind of build quality design.
Same design.
Ooh,
Comes in
I
black
like
and
that.
cyan.
Yeah.
Has a 8 megapixel Carl Zeiss camera on the back. Camera with Carl Zeiss lens with good wide angle shots.
Yeah.
And
So is this going to be the US?
this is the US one launching
Okay.
on AT&T.
Couple of small changes I noticed.
Yes.
We did a quick look.
Minor changes.
Well, we didn't take a quick look. But we got some hands-on time with one at Digital Experience. They took off that little breaky door that's on the 800.
Yep, still there.
On the top?
On the top.
No, it wasn't there on the one that we had hands on.
Maybe
It was
not
just
in
a raw
regular-
micro USB port.
Oh, yeah, it was exposed.
Straight out
Just
exposed.
Okay.
So that's good. That's a big improvement.
Yeah, because that was a big point of failure.
The
Yeah, it
button
wasn't like the whole
placement-
thing didn't pop out.
Yeah,
like
there's
that.
no
Yes.
place to easy break off thing. There's the button placement's a little bit new on the side.
Yeah, it's
I don't
taller,
know how I feel
so
about that.
you know
Makes sense.
the power on button isn't above the volume buttons; it's
Yeah.
below the volume buttons.
Yeah. That's otherwise it's bigger.
I wanna see that. That
Screen
sounds
looked really
good.
nice.
Yeah.
It was
So,
exciting.
was that really the gist of the press conference? Because I mean, I feel like I have a good grasp of what everyone else talked about, but Nokia, besides the 900, I mean, was there anything?
That
else?
was it. They were there to announce the Lumia 900, which unfortunately for them leaked a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
They still won't talk about release date, but everyone says March 18th.
That's what Nokia needs, though. Nokia needs a kick-ass phone for America that's going to compete with Android phones and the iPhone.
So is this going to be like the flagship Windows Phone 7
Yes.
now?
Not only is it the flagship Windows Phone 7, so here's where the reality distortion field effect came in. After they announced the phone, they brought in Ballmer and the CEO, president of AT&T Mobility.
Della Vega.
Yes, Ralph Della Vega.
Ralph Della Vega.
And it was like, these are all, I mean, obviously business corporate titans, right?
So is this like kind of like when George Michael does "Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me" and he goes, "Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Elton John," and everyone fucking freaks out because Elton John is now on the stage? Is that like
people freak out, really?
People freaked the fuck out.
Huh.
But it was also, if you thought about it, these are also CEOs of 3 companies that people don't really like.
Yeah, we hate everybody.
As
Everybody
a whole,
hates
people
all.
hate
Well, maybe not
AT&T.
Nokia.
They kind of dislike Microsoft, and then
Nokia
they feel
fans.
bad for Nokia.
Nokia fans hate Nokia
Yeah.
because he's
Symbian fans hate
Symbian
Nokia.
fans hate Nokia because
Yeah.
he's the Manchurian candidate.
Amiga.
It was interesting.
And so
I want to see them all have like a Three Stooges slap fight on the stage.
I could really see.
Why you?
What?
That's what I want to see.
I never watched Three Stooges as a kid. I'll admit
No?
that right
They're
now.
doing
It's
a
not
remake.
relevant. I'm not
It
going to
looks
watch
terrible.
that either.
It looks really bad.
I realized something while you were talking about drinking Kool-Aid at the Nokia thing. Intel actually fed us Kool-Aid.
Like beverage.
They gave us
Oh,
a
that's
bottle of water and like a flavor packet full of
Yeah.
vitamins and minerals and shit, and we all just
We literally drank
twist,
Intel's
twist, shake,
Kool-Aid.
shake, 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 and we drank the Intel Kool-Aid this morning.
You could
Fuck.
have been drinking mental susceptibility drugs or something.
It made me
we had it
irritable all
afterwards,
day
though.
long. So
Your bowels?
no, just no.
Oh, okay.
My bowels are
Temperament.
full. Yeah, I mean more than usual. This day. So I went from one shitty press conference to the other. You got the good press conferences. It sounds like, except for Sharp maybe. I went to Nvidia for like 15 minutes, and when the lead demo was Jensen doing a
CEO of Nvidia.
CEO of Nvidia, sitting down with a Transformer Prime. No mention of Tegra 3. So the thing that happened to Nvidia, and I can empathize with this, but they shouldn't fucking take a Monday press conference slot if they're not able to talk. They couldn't show any Windows 8 ARM stuff, which is what they have.
Last year, that was
Right.
There was actually a good press conference. They talked
So
about
is
Tegra
everyone
2.
in
Right.
radio silence on Windows 8 ARM right now?
Well, until the Microsoft press conference,
Right,
and then
right.
they showed we have Windows 8 ARM running on this reference design tablet, and then that was it. And I presume that mention was such that they couldn't talk about any of the other interesting stuff. It was a brutal, by all reports. I was watching Twitter because I went upstairs and got on the Microsoft line after that. Thanks again to Thomas for holding a place for me there while
Let you chat and cut.
well I didn't chat and cut. I switched.
Just
We
cut.
swapped out.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a fair trade.
Cut and dump.
Yeah, the line Nazis, the line guys up there were real hard about the chat and cuts.
We got the email afterward about the NVIDIA press conference. They did announce,
Oh my
in
God.
partnership with Asus, a Transformer tablet. I think it's 7 inches. That's going to be priced at $249.
Did they say what the secret Tegra 3 feature was that they hadn't revealed yet?
Yeah,
Yeah, that press conference. There were multiple press people, mostly Sylvie Barak from EE Times, who's a little bit of a firebrand sometimes. Really pissed because it was an incredible waste of time, that whole press conference. Yeah. Really big bummer. And then I rolled to Microsoft. You went to Sony while I was going into Microsoft.
Oh, Sony.
Let's talk about Sony.
I want to talk about
Let's
Sony.
talk about
What did Sony have?
I have
of all-
a pertinent question from the
okay, yeah,
chat.
second question.
Oh, thanks,
yeah.
Wes. Sorry.
Steel Knight 2000 asked about an hour and a half ago, how did Will feel when he appeared at the Sony conference to promote his new
No,
movie?
That's
I
a
don't wanna
dumb
answer- I
question.
don't wanna
That is
answer
not a
that
pertinent question.
Not a pertinent question.
It's
not
terrible.
yet. No. Sorry, Wes.
You brought this on. This is your fault.
Sony.
At Will Smith is here.
Shut up, Will. Shut up. Let me tell the story.
Wow, getting testy.
Sony was the second to last press
Tested,
conference
tested.
of the day.
He's on now.
And unlike the other press conferences, it was at the Las Vegas Convention
Now,
Center.
does Sony? Is there? What's the setup here? Is it, if you're going last, is that like you're the best?
Well, it's a gamble, right? Because if the other press conferences have been interesting and useful, then people are upbeat and feeling good, and it's been a good day, right? So you have a chance to
right.
finish strong.
Right.
But this was not a good upbeat year.
No,
it
people are
seems
tired
like.
and cranky.
Right,
and
this-
they've seen a lot of boring
This
shit.
was one shitty, boring thing to the next shitty, boring thing,
right.
and it's like 5 minutes of interesting in a 45-minute presentation.
So
So
you talk about the Microsoft, and then there's a whole story behind the Microsoft press conference as well,
Yeah.
which they traditionally end CES day zero with.
I'm gonna put my feet up because I'm
Yeah, go for it.
tired.
yeah, that's fine.
Sony, at their booth, which was not very highly trafficked last year when we stopped by their booth, because
Well, it was in the back of the conference center.
yeah, it's like this weird spot. They were promoting Google TV, which Google last year sent out the memo to all their partners.
Right, please don't do
promote
that.
Google
Yeah,
TV.
'cause it's rubbish.
Right, and Sony, they have their hands in everything, right? And last year, they're still with the PSP Go. The Vita wasn't really on the floor yet. It wasn't ready to show that. Their TVs haven't been really exciting. This year,
They had the visor
and they had like the fancy visor technology
and some closed room
Right.
things.
Yeah, it was not.
But
that
again, that's
great.
like a concept car. It's not really.
Well, they're shipping it
They
now.
just shipped
Matt's
it.
used it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
it's
Yeah.
a real product. I think the second half of the year of 2011 was actually a lot better for Sony. I think their cameras, their optical department, digital imaging department,
Yes.
with camera stuff has been doing very well.
Okay.
But they have their hands in everything. They make cameras, they make TVs, they make video games, they make movies, they make music.
They sell insurance.
They make phone. Yeah, they make everything. They're not going to go bankrupt. So they had it at their booth, and the first thing I thought was a terrible idea because the convention hall had not been fully set up yet. So
Really? Why did they have this in the booth?
because they wanted to make a giant presentation. It was much bigger than
Oh my God.
ballroom at the Venetian.
Okay.
And Samsung or whoever was next door.
How did you have to walk down that long hall all the
You
way
walk
to the
down a
end?
long hall, yes, all the
And
way
they
to
don't,
the
they don't
end.
let you just wander the floor.
Nope. There's one entrance just for this press conference. They walled off basically the rest of the convention hall, but there were sound checks going on at the other booths during the Sony press conference. So as Sir Howard was on stage talking about how great their TV's been selling, you'd hear a boom, boom in the back.
Oh god.
And it was terribly awkward for everyone involved.
And sound checks at CES, it's not like a guy testing 1, 2, 3, 4. It's fucking like
music.
It's booty bass. Boom, boom, boom.
I
Shit
got
you
a
can feel.
feeling.
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Sound like this bad mix in the
Night's
background.
gonna be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good,
And then heavy
good
drop.
night.
Yeah.
Thanks, Drew.
So Sony talked about their entire wide range of consumer electronics. They talked about their complete acquisition of Ericsson. So Ericsson is now
Right.
a subsidiary of Sony,
Right.
a wholly subsidiary. They're gonna have new Android phones.
Hold on.
They're gonna have
Take a step back. They wholly acquired what used to be called Sony Ericsson, and after they finished that acquisition, the move was to drop the Sony
No, drop
from
the
the
Ericsson.
name. Oh,
Drop
so
the
now it's just Sony
Yeah,
phones.
now the
Sony.
phones are just Sony.
Yes.
So that makes sense.
Sony
Okay,
phones.
That's good.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. That was
Sony Android
fucking
phones.
crazy time.
They announced 2 of those. They're actually gonna do a Walkman, again, Android-powered Walkman. Sorry, I hate that phrase.
What is
things
that?
are
Is
not
that going to be
powered
like
by
an iPod
Android.
Touch?
Yes,
A Walkman that
basically.
runs Android.
Yes, a Walkman that runs Android
It's like a Galaxy
with
Tab
Wi-Fi.
player.
I don't know if they'll have market. Probably not on
So
it.
they are exploiting nostalgia.
Yeah, kind of like that.
Well,
They-
the Walkman, obviously not dominant like it used to be in the 80s, but it never went away. I mean, they've continued
Yeah.
to make Walkmans and MP3 Walkmans right until
They
now.
just
I
designed
said-
their own UIs for them, which were crap.
Yeah.
Frankly.
Yeah.
I sat next to somebody on the train the other day that was using a Discman.
Oh god, I used to have one of those.
Yeah.
All about the buffer. How
That
many
was
seconds of buffer?
The Discman was the best way ever to scratch the shit out of your CD collection.
Yes, it was.
You
Oh,
could
yeah.
really ruin a lot of CDs that way.
Yeah. And the little no skip jog protection, which did not work at
No.
all.
Well, the
Yeah.
thing that
You look
happened.
at the buffer meter go down. Go, oh no, can't stop. Gotta stop moving.
Do you remember what happened when you get the Discman? You'd be like, look, it has 24 seconds of buffer. So what would happen was your asshole friend would be like, let's test this out, and he'd pick it up and you'd fucking start shaking it,
Yeah.
and your disc would be completely destroyed by the
Yeah.
end of that.
I remember
Do you
it
remember
well.
when iPods used to have that as well? They used to measure the amount of time you had in like shock value. So like you would be able to listen to your iPod for like a minute before.
Yes,
It
I
would
do
skip.
remember that.
Spinning
Flash,
hard drive.
memory, RAM.
No.
Okay, Sony. Sir Howard.
Yeah, Sir Howard Stringer, who I'd again also never seen in person before.
Yeah, I've never seen him in person either.
Totally,
It's
like-
maybe it's
He's actually a pretty big dude.
tall or wide.
Tall dude. Talked about their TVs. Mentioned the goggles, the fancy goggles. 3D,
The 3D
again
visor.
is a big thing. Didn't talk much about apps, but did talk about their ecosystem because they do
Braga.
sell phones.
You're gonna regret
They sell
that.
cameras. They sell camcorders and TVs and laptops. They have a Sony ecosystem, Sony Entertainment Network, and they own music. So you can rent music unlimited, subscribe to their service, get it on all your devices, get on the PlayStation Vita.
Because if
that
anybody
kind of
does
stuff.
services well, it's Sony.
So I think this was their big play against Apple, the ecosystem play.
Okay.
Not terribly exciting. And I was struggling to find, it's near the end of the day, I was kind of tired already, struggling to find points that were memorable. And, because we had to talk about it, obviously, on the show.
Yeah.
It looked really bad until near the end of their press conference.
Kelly Clarkson.
Thank you, Will. Until the end of the press conference, Sir Howard Stringer said, okay, and also we have a movie division, so put on your 3D glasses and let's watch this movie trailer.
Did they give you 3D glasses when you hit the door?
Yeah, all the seats had 3D glasses, the real 3D glasses.
Oh my god.
Put them on.
Like, hold on, like active shutter glasses?
No, real 3D, real D.
Like
real,
movie glasses.
Yes, movie
Okay.
glasses. In the plastic bag and everything. And in my head, I knew, okay, Sony has about 3 big movie properties movies coming out this year.
Yeah.
It's going to be Amazing Spider-Man. I think they have Underworld as a movie, which is coming out this month, and also Men in Black. And in my head, personally, I wanted to see some new footage from Amazing Spider-Man,
Yeah.
but also part of me wanted to see the Men in Black footage.
And you're thinking you're probably going to get Kate Beckinsale.
Yeah.
So if it's an FMK,
well-
you kill Kate Beckinsale.
No.
You're hoping for Tommy Lee Jones.
So they played the Men in Black trailer, and as they were playing the trailer, I took out my phone and started typing. And I started typing, "Holy fuck, Will Smith is here," on the off chance that they would bring Will Smith out.
So you did a
Oh, so you did that before he actually came out?
Wow,
Came
that
out
is
with the finger
I am
hovering
disappointed.
over the post button, because Sir Howard said you'll want to stay to the very end because we have some special guests.
Oh, okay. So he kind of tips
Yeah.
you off. All right.
And they near the end, now we're gonna have a special trailer, right? And then at the end of that, he said, "And now." First he said, "Oh, wasn't that awesome?" And first of all, it wasn't new footage.
Did
it
he
was
say,
just
you will want to stay until the very
he
end?
didn't say that.
That's
That would have
terrible.
been very clever.
No, it wouldn't have been.
Yeah,
That's
no,
not
no,
clever
what
at
am I talking
all.
about? No, that would have been terrible.
We've got something very fresh for you.
He did say at the end, "You are a prince. You are a prince." So,
Oh,
and
did
then,
he?
Yeah.
Okay.
He said, "Okay, wasn't that great footage?" No one clapped after Men in Black 3. Maybe it wasn't new.
Was it the same trailer
It was
that
the
we've
same
seen before?
teaser
Okay.
trailer, and it was
But
Josh
it was in
Brolin.
3D.
It was in 3D.
Is
It's
it-
a really big thing. No one clapped, so I'm like, "Oh man, this is gonna be really awkward."
Oh, that must have been awkward.
And then he did say after that, "And now, welcome the stars of Men in Black 3," and immediately I pressed the button. That's when the button was pressed.
Who was
The
there?
tweet. Well, it was only 1 star actually.
Why did
It
you say
was-
stars then?
He misspoke. Barry Sonnenfeld, the director, came out.
Well, there's the other star.
I guess so.
I guess.
So
And then Will Smith came on stage
Fuck off.
and showed Sony products.
What did he say?
He talked about how great what a great time Barry had shooting with Sony 3D cameras for the movie.
Oh, okay.
Oh, boy.
And he got technical. He talked about the APS-C sensors and the cameras. He goes, "That's all over my head." Because he does the creative stuff, but Sony, all the Sony electronics, they deserve the cred for all the glowing reviews that their products have had. Just like when he gets glowing reviews for his performances, the Sony products have also performed.
Oh, I see.
admirably.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
dude sold out. It was awesome. It was great.
He didn't sell it. He knows who pays the bills.
I guess it does pays the bills. He's kind of owned. He has a nice relationship with Sony.
Yeah, I would think so.
So they did
Made
the whole
them-
bit. It was everyone went crazy.
Will Smith is like, if you look at Q ratings, a measure of worldwide popularity and recognizability. Will
Yes.
Smith is like number 2 or 3, usually 1, 2, 3,
Yep.
somewhere in there, behind like Tom Cruise and
Yep.
and I don't know. Bruce
So at that
Willis or
point,
somebody. I don't know who the
I
number
immediately
one is.
forgot everything that happened before that press conference, or during that press conference.
Right, you lost your
Were you
shit.
starstruck?
Yeah, I think I was starstruck.
Norm tweeted
How
4
close were you?
times.
I wasn't actually that close, but I was close enough to be able to see him clearly.
Okay.
Yeah, I was pretty starstruck checking
pretty
those
good.
tweets, and then they doubled down and ended with a performance by Kelly Clarkson. I was like, "Oh, by the way, before you go, here's Kelly Clarkson singing a song,
What did she sing?
something from her new album."
Was it
Yeah.
for the new album, really?
I guess she has a new album, and she was charming. It was delightful. There's no product tied to that. It was just she was just singing a song. It was like almost like a wannabe Apple keynote. They
Yeah,
really,
that's what Apple uses.
really wanted to be Apple.
Yeah, that the music at the end is a good way to end on a high note.
Yeah.
Like the Apple keynote where they launched the shittiest iPods ever, they closed with Kanye singing Gold Digger, and that was fucking awesome.
But sweet.
I don't remember anything that happened else in that keynote except for Kanye singing Gold
Yeah.
Digger. I was like, I cannot believe that Steve Jobs was just like, ladies and gentlemen, Kanye West. Because usually Nora Jones or somebody kind of
Or like
piano
Randy
and
Newman
shitty.
or someone,
Yeah, I mean, not the day.
And with Apple, it's not it's an artist that they sign a contract with to bring in for that performance. It's not someone they own. Like
Right.
Sony owns Kelly Clarkson, owns Will Smith.
So, while you were doing this, I was, Microsoft, the line is so epic. You get in the line like 2-3 hours before, and then, and then what happens is an hour before the press conference starts, they let you go into the room.
Okay.
That's an exciting moment, right?
Now you were excited for Microsoft because
it's the last one.
Yes.
I never have to do it again. From now on, the final
so this
keynote.
was the last ever Microsoft.
Yeah.
keynote?
Well, I mean, they'll probably do it again at some point in the future.
Was there something?
So
did they commemorate?
I'll
that
get to it. I'll get to it.
All right.
So I'm sitting in the. I finally find a seat, and
I love the way that you go like, I'll get to it, but
Yeah.
when Norm's telling his story, you just go Kelly Clarkson. You just like blow the end of his story.
that
like,
wasn't the end of the story. I didn't say. Wes was the one who blew Will Smith. I'm kind of an asshole.
Wes is the
been
one who
established.
blew
Hold
Will
on a
Smith.
second.
Wait, hold on a
Full
second.
circle.
That may be the best one ever. Because
Will,
that
what
is
have
going to
you
go
done?
so well with the cum face.
What have you done to me, Will?
Wes is the one that blew Will Smith.
Shit.
That is sweet.
My God.
I knew there was a reason
Oh,
we
this
stayed
is
up
so
late.
bad. I'm gonna get a text from my wife now.
That is the
Oh,
ultimate
fuck.
culmination of everything that has led up to this moment. Is that
Yes.
statement? I love
punchline
it.
at the end of the show.
Well done. It's perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. We can't
That's
touch
the
that.
headline for the show.
I think that meme actually should be retired now because
I
there'll
hope
never
to God.
be a better one.
No, but that's the top of the mountain. That's my final gift to you.
I honestly believe that there are people as well that listen to the podcast that are sitting there with the template just waiting,
fucking loaded up,
fingers
ready to
hovering
go.
over the text box.
Because what happens is when it hits, there'll be 3 of them right next to each other, all exactly the same.
Yeah, they can't wait to get up there.
So we file in. There's some reserved seats, and they always want the press in one place, and there's never enough seats. There's always a hassle. I go for an aisle seat just in case it's really boring and I want to make an escape. Right?
You do
Okay.
that.
Aisle seat's always better. I find a good aisle. It's a little far back, but it's okay. Behind the Verge guys. And there's the text from the wife. Thank you. She's enjoying herself. And I'm sitting here. I'm
Tell
sitting
her
there.
it isn't true.
Yeah, it is not true. Gina, not true.
If only you'd have let me tweet that one that you said in the van last night.
No,
That was the best one
thank
ever.
God I didn't get that one out.
What?
Oh, there you go again. There's another one.
That one, that's nothing compared to anyway,
All right.
the Fenlon
But
incident.
the hits just keep on. I've noticed that like it's like buses or like celebrity deaths. Is like they
come in threes.
Yeah, they do come. They do tend to come in threes.
So I'm sitting there and I'm like, this is the fucking mopiest pre-conference music I've ever heard. And I think, oh wait, somebody's being clever. So I Shazam it, and the song is Kelly Pickler, Best Days of Your Life, a breakup song. So I wait.
How do you know that's a breakup song?
Because I was listening to the fucking words. It's all about getting dumped.
Oh, okay.
I gave you the best days of your life, yada, yada, yada. I'm so sad. Country music. Please don't dump me again. Whatever. The next song, Starting Over by Jennifer Lopez. I'd never heard this song before either. But it is also about getting dumped. Spotlight by Jennifer Hudson. Also getting dumped. All of the songs before this press conference are about breakups. It's like the ultimate breakup mix for Microsoft and the CEA.
So they made a mixtape.
They made a mixtape.
Who made the tape?
I don't know if it was the CEA.
I think it was CEA.
I think it might have been the CEA because they're the ones who got dumped.
So I also heard.
Right.
I didn't see this. I also heard that before Ballmer came on.
Yeah.
The president of the CEA did an introduction.
This always happens.
Okay. Yes.
There's-
And
yeah.
it was a special introduction this time.
Yeah, so it was a very special episode of the CEA pre-keynote. He talked about the very first time that Bill Gates came when he just walked in by himself, unescorted.
He was being
95?
very nostalgic.
Yeah, it was there was a brief
To
moment.
be fair, Microsoft dumped
tear.
CEA.
Seems like that's the case.
Okay.
That's the message I got from
Yeah.
from the breakup mix and the
CEA was packing their bags.
Yeah.
Filling up the box with their stuff.
Right. And Ballmer was throwing the clothes out the window in the
Right.
yard. Is
All
what
right.
it seems like.
What
So the CEA guy comes on. He starts talking. He talks about Bill Gates coming in by himself for the first one with a PC, 1995. It wasn't even a keynote then. It was just like a chat session. They had a room with some dudes. They had a bunch of pictures of stuff. Go through 98, the first keynote 98, the big moments, all the
Sure.
you know, it was this should have
Best
played
of
time of your life over
Yeah.
this montage. They did like this weird kind of like auto-tuned, it was called a Pogo thing. I assume Pogo is some piece of software or something.
So it really is like a breakup. Like the guy from CA is like going through like a shoebox of old like photos of
And- yeah.
Bill Gates.
And-
Gates is
yeah.
Steve Ballmer.
And
Thinking about happy. Leslie thinking about music that reminds
courtship.
me of him.
And the CEA guy gives Ballmer a collage with
Oh,
all
yeah.
the images, like all the poster images of things
Wait,
that they've done
A
together.
digital collage?
No, it was a framed, like three-dimensional
really is like a
collage.
breakup.
Yeah, so it was a little sad.
You know what was the front and center of the collage?
Windows fucking Vista.
Really? Oh, okay,
I
so
saw-
that is the just the
So,
big thing.
I
so
wasn't
Matt
the
and I
only one
were
who noticed
talking
it.
about how
Yeah.
ridiculous this whole thing was, and then it hit us. They were totally trolling Microsoft. This was their big.
This is their way of, like,
fuck
getting
you
back at them.
Yeah.
to Microsoft.
Hey, it wasn't all wine and roses,
Putting
motherfuckers.
their biggest failure at the center of it.
So
I
two
like that.
two things that were of note. One is that Bill Gates has had the same haircut since 1995, essentially unchanged.
All right.
Consistency.
Bill Gates wore a lot of really fuggo sweaters over the last 15 years.
That's true also.
And Ballmer gets really excited.
Yes, he does.
Ballmer is kind of like a Muppet. He kind of moves like a Muppet. I like Ballmer. Just to be clear, I think Ballmer he's kind of a sales guy and he's done some bad things for Microsoft. But as a character, I think Ballmer is fantastic.
He's a great character.
He's all, you know, he's that guy, right?
He's like that crazy overexcited
spirit.
uncle.
Fuck off.
I'm saying.
The Will Smith thing and now this is too far, Chan.
Kindred spirit.
Don't start a feud in CES week. This could go badly. Ballmer goes away from the CEA thing, and then they introduce the host of tonight's show. Typically, this is Ballmer or Bill Gates, depending on how the night goes. This time, Ryan fucking Seacrest. I, at one point during the show, asked what Ryan Seacrest cost for a personal event. Upwards of $100,000 is the answer.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was a little bit distressed by your stream of tweets that are just to be non-stop kind of fawning admiration for Ryan Seacrest.
What, you don't like Seacrest?
No, I like him fine, but I mean, it was almost like you'd started a Twitter fan club. Or
I like
something.
Seacrest. He's good.
I love him.
It was bad.
I love him even more.
Oh, it
after
was a bad
seeing
press
the-
conference.
I love him even more after seeing the X Factor and realizing what a shit host is like.
Yeah.
Seacrest is
That's
like,
the
oh
thing.
wow, what Seacrest does is not easy.
Seacrest sitting up there and acting interesting while they're talking about this shit, really fucking hard. Because I was about to nod off at some point.
You know what? They pay me $100,000. You'd be amazed how fucking interested I can look.
I liked how he pretended to steal the Lumia.
That was on the live stream
That was
as well.
like he acted like he was gonna steal it. He's like, dude, you got $100,000. You could fucking buy one.
Because you gotta
Buy
realize
50.
these press conferences aren't for me and you. They're
No.
they're for people. Mom
They're
and
for
pops.
norms.
Yeah, the Sony press conference is being live streamed every Sony store in America.
Great.
At the
How many
time.
of those are there?
Jeez.
There are Sony
4 or 5?
stores. There
a
we go.
lot.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so
Which ones?
this is gone.
Fancy
It's way too late. So I'm going to go through this real fast. The official phone of Microsoft seems to be the Lumia, whether it's the 800 or the 900. There are like 3
Yeah.
Lumia 900s
Yeah.
on stage. Ballmer showed his personal phone, Lumia 800, I believe. They're all Lumia'd up.
Sure.
No focuses, no HEC, nothing.
That makes. I mean, we knew all along
Yeah.
it was going that
Most
way.
favorite
Nokia
phone.
is the flagship partner.
They talked about Windows 8. Showed basically the same stuff from Build in that Windows Store preview event a few weeks ago that I went to.
Right.
Nothing exciting there.
Okay.
The Metro is still the start screen. I still think that is an incredibly questionable decision for mainstream computer users. I think it's going to be very, very disconcerting and confusing to them.
Mainstream PC users.
The type of people who buy computers at Best Buy and sit down in front of a computer with no start menu, it's going to blow their fucking minds.
But
and
why
not
not?
in
But
a
isn't
good
the
way.
isn't the tiles the big, colourful, friendly? Here's a big thing that says mail. Here's a big thing
Well,
that
so
says the web.
this
Like,
is-
it's just even easier than a start menu.
This is the other thing. While they were sitting there saying these tiles are going to be vibrant and alive and dynamic, they were showing a screen full of fucking flat, dead tiles doing nothing. They're just shortcuts, application shortcuts. So if you're talking about application shortcuts, then no, it's not a better experience to make them all random and jumbled and hard to figure out.
Right.
The way to launch apps in this version of Windows is clearly, and I think they might be doing this on purpose, they're making the browsing experience so shitty, which admittedly, it was bad to begin with. But I think they're making it so bad that you're going to encourage people to mash Windows and just type the name of the app. Mash the Windows key and type the name of the app. Other stuff out of there, I tweeted a bunch out of there. I can't remember anything else. It seems like it's been a long time ago. Windows Phone 7, no new information there. The Nokia Lumia 900 is the big news there. They did have a direct feed. Last year they used overhead projectors to show screens from the Windows Phone 7s. Now they apparently have some sort of debug or something where you can actually see live video directly fed out of it, which is
I wonder
exciting.
if that's a Nokia thing.
No, it was in the Focus at Build.
Oh, really? Okay.
I think that's it. Like literally, there was nothing new at that.
God,
press
what
conference. They talked about Xbox.
Yeah.
You tweeted something earlier in the evening where you listed things that were supposedly going to be talked about.
That was my list of things that I thought they were
so
going
that
to
was
talk
just
about.
your production.
No way they want to talk about new Xbox.
I was going to say.
No way.
No. But I said new Xbox. New Xbox UI was the new
I
Xbox.
Oh.
Yeah.
God, what a letdown. Not just
They talked about that at length. How awesome it is. That video interface, that's going to all video apps. The Netflix video interface, the new one, the terrible one.
Oh, God.
That's the new video interface. Congratulations, guys. It was a real, like, for the final one, I mean, I think maybe what happened is they looked at what they were going to talk about at this press conference, and were like, why the fuck are we doing a press conference?
Yep.
Why are we spending all this money bringing this giant stage and doing all that stuff?
They
We
didn't
don't
want
need
to do it.
that.
They didn't want to do it. They were obligated by the contract, and so they
They
Yeah.
phoned
just
it
phoned
in.
Yeah, this was not good. Well, they paid a lot of money for Seacrest. Yeah, he made one American Idol joke. He said he did the call 1-800-LIVE-IDOLS or whatever the number is.
I think it's
can't
still a bad
remember.
idea to get this.
Oh my God! I forgot about the tweet choir. This. So at the beginning, at most of these press conferences, they have a hashtag. So when you're tweeting, because a lot of journalists are on Twitter, you're supposed to put pound whatever at the end of your tweet. Jimmy Fallon does this a lot of times. Like once a week, there'll be a tweet hashtag of the week, whatever. This one was MSFT CES. You're supposed to tweet that, and then I believe that they were pulling interesting, non-offensive tweets from that. And they had a group of like a gospel choir come in singing about the tweets.
Fucking hell.
Oh.
There have been some bad musical acts at Microsoft keynotes over the years. There was remember the one that we went to, the last Microsoft, when we were at Max PC, the flow tones or the note tones or whatever that one was.
Oh, that sounds.
Oh
fancy.
my God, that was bad. But it was like a bebop. No, it was like a beatboxing group. That was I think the low bar, as I remember.
I do remember beatboxing.
This one was pretty funny. Like they were pretty good compared to the beatboxers. That's all I'll say. The tweets were all ravingly pro Microsoft. That's it. I mean, it was bad. We went to. It was a bad
this whole
keynote.
day was like there wasn't really anything really great.
You know what did you do today?
I sat around.
Okay, that's more productive than anything I did.
I ordered an omelette from room service.
Man, I'd love an omelet.
And I went down to the spa and had a spa day.
Did you massage?
Yeah, really good spa.
Hot tub and all that stuff?
I had a exfoliating full body scrub thing and an 80-minute Swedish massage.
Do you wear trunks when you do that, or you put like a washcloth over your Johnson?
It's as nature intended.
Okay, that's good.
And then had a nice jacuzzi and took a steam, lounged
Okay.
around in their lounge.
Okay.
And then what did I do?
The steam is nice. Do you do the water? Do you do the cool towel?
I can't sit in the steam room for too long though.
You got to stay low. Is the key to the
Vegas
steam
already
room.
kind of dry.
It's what?
It's
Well,
very
steam
dry.
helps.
Well, they actually had two. They had a regular steam room and they had the sort of like the dry and then the dry sauna, which is
But the dry sauna's not
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
for here.
So that was good. It was very relaxing. Very good massage. By the end of it, it's like you can barely get off of the table.
Yeah.
You're like just a limp noodle. Like
I'm surprised you're conscious still.
so
frankly.
super relaxing. That's probably why I'm so tired right now.
Yeah.
Speaking of conscious,
What?
aren't we all never mind. I'm tired. I am.
You got to finish it now. Once you start that path, forever shall dominate your way.
He said something about being conscious, and I was going to say something about aren't we all feeling a little unconscious by now because it's almost 2 a.m.
Yes,
Yeah.
I know. I'm feeling.
I've been
I'm
trying to wrap it
so
up to 10
tired
minutes.
right now. Like even
What's
last
wrong?
night when we had been driving all day, and we're up
Yeah.
at 6 tomorrow. I was like, let's go, and I was up until 3 o'clock in the morning playing
Yeah.
blackjack. Now I just want to go to bed.
Perhaps that has something to do
Speaking
with
of
why you're
blackjack,
tired.
Joey's out there making money right now.
Don't-
Fucking
Joey
what?
went out?
Yeah, Joey walked
No
out.
fucking
He's
way.
ready.
Good for
Oh,
Joey.
man.
Good for him.
Wes Fenlon, any last questions from the chat before we call the 100th episode of This Is Only a Test?
Oh,
So here's a question for you
Timing is
guys
so bad.
from Genoa.
This is
After
about-
these press conferences, did they leave any of you excited for anything?
I was excited for the press conferences to be done.
Have these conferences basically set the tone for CES, or is there
No.
a chance that the show floor will still hold massive,
We saw-
exciting surprises?
We saw great stuff at Digital Experience tonight. There was cool stuff there. We got to take a look at the HP NV14 Scepter.
Mass
Spectre?
Effect jokes.
Spectre.
Spectre.
The C was right in the middle.
C was in the middle. Yeah, Spectre. This is a follow-up to the NV14. It's a great laptop. Well, the original was. We don't know how this one is. It's got a glass lid. I don't know how I feel about that, but it's kind of cool. Looked cool. We video of that will be up on the site tomorrow. We took a look at the Lumia 900 hands-on. That was exciting. There's a bunch of other good stuff there. I had a really lovely piece of meat on a stick on the way out of there too.
I've barely eaten today.
That was the only food I've eaten today.
I think that omelet might be all I've eaten today.
I had a balance bar in the morning, and I had a kind bar on the way in here, and I had 2 finger wedges.
Where did you get kind bars?
I ate the last one. It came from my closet.
You motherfucker.
Language, Braga. So that'll do it for us tonight. 100th episode, guys.
Are we going to do fake outtakes?
Okay.
I kind of wish I hadn't said that now.
I wasn't going to, but since you brought it up.
Why did I say that?
Play the close music. Norman Chan, Gary Witt. It's been a great 100 episodes. Matt Braga, thanks for coming in. Wes, thanks for manning the chat. Thomas, working the video switcher tonight and going above and beyond, just in general. Drew, I don't know if you're over there still. I think you went to bed like a sane person would. And Joey,
Joey's doing the right thing.
Do what God intended, man. Play the music, Wes, and we'll do fake outtakes in just a sec. Hi there, I didn't see you. Tested. Norman Chan, do you have a pulse?
98 beats a minute.
That's way too high. You know what sucks? As long as this podcast is, it's going to take me an hour to edit and export and compress and post this podcast.
Yeah.
So bed is not even in your immediate future.
No. And then I think, see, people think that coming to trade shows and Vegasing it up is a lot of fun. 6 o'clock in the morning, been up all day, running like an asshole all day long.
Crazy day.
Our first thing tomorrow.
10 a.m. Sony booth.
Oh, God, no, 9 a.m. sharp meeting. Oh, that's Braga. 10 a.m. Sony booth. Hot damn, I can sleep until like 8:30.
That's not so bad.
That's awesome. Good news, everyone. Fake outtakes topics.
Norm, how much money would you want to force yourself to stay awake for the next 24 hours?
He can't do it.
To push through and go to CES.
Oh, no.
Judging by how poorly I did in blackjack last night, it wouldn't have to be that much.
You'd be happy just to make your money back.
It wouldn't be that much.
That could be a more useful use of my resources.
Did you crap up my laptop with that fake fire bullshit?
No. Yeah.
Fake outtakes.
Oh.
It's running out of a folder. We can delete it.
Okay. All-time best fake outtakes.
$500 to stay awake.
You went $500
The problem
down
is
last
there's
night?
no way to
Okay.
police it because I'm not fucking staying awake. No one to keep you honest.
Live stream. Just leave it running. He has to sit here and then
No.
he'll tell us if he cheats.
I gotta sit here?
Yeah, quietly to yourself.
Wow, it's like, would I rather go down to the blackjack tables and maybe lose more money or guaranteed make money
just by
Right,
staying-
just
by
by
sitting here?
staying awake.
Can I have like a fake blackjack table, like a robot, and like just get cards?
I'm going to make a
Just
prediction.
have fake cards?
I can lend you my DS with the blackjack game on it.
If you
It's
just
like if I
sit
stay up
in
all
here,
night.
Yeah.
Playing blackjack, but one.
Yes.
Guaranteed.
Yeah, you're guaranteed winning.
Oh man, I'm getting excited about it already.
if you just sit in here by yourself in the quiet,
Quiet.
you'll be asleep in 15 minutes.
Oh,
Yeah, I actually
Easily.
think
Less
that
than
you
that,
might
yeah.
not physically be able to do it.
I
don't think so, yeah.
Without constant stimuli.
I had a
It sounds good now, but in a few hours you'd be like, the $500 is just not worth it, and you'll go to sleep.
and
I
that
don't
would be
know,
like
man.
losing
If I-
money and losing time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And admitting failure and not winning.
Yeah, I can't do that.
Okay. 100 episodes. When did we start doing fake outtakes? Like 40?
I don't know. I don't even remember how I got involved in this fucking podcast.
I think you wanted to come up and see the office one day. We were like, hey, we're podcasting. Why don't you come in and sit in?
Yeah, because I used to come and see the old office in Sausalito.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever did the podcast there, though.
Yeah, you did.
Did I?
In the downstairs by the bomb office.
Oh, yeah.
And then you brought the
Remember we
the
had-
iPhone 4.
iPhone 4.
Oh, right, because you got it in FedEx.
I did a What's in My Bag back
Yeah,
in the day.
that was a rough. We should redo your What's in Your Bag. So that was real long and rambly.
Yeah, it was
And
weak.
I seem to recall the joke of the What's in Your Bag, which was like 12 minutes long, was that all you had in your bag was an iPad because that was all you needed.
Yeah, it would be a very different What's in My Bag today, I think.
Yeah.
It would just be a MacBook Air instead of an iPad.
Ladies and gentlemen, What's in Your Bag, Gary Witta edition. Done.
Yeah, you don't even need to watch it. I just summarized it for you.
I don't know if I'm in the right
Saved you all the
mental
trouble.
framework for
Fake
outtakes.
It's late, and you really want to do Oktobercast again? You want to volunteer to feel
Yeah,
like
because
this again?
I'm going to go ahead and tell you, Oktobercast you can mentally prepare yourself for.
Well,
You get a good night's sleep.
It's not like CES, comes to you by surprise. It's the same week every year.
Well, there's two things. One is that we learned an important lesson last time. Start Oktobercast at 9 a.m. Because the hardest part of the day was from 6 a.m. to noon.
Oh.
That was the long, dark.
Having been up
hours.
since 6 a.m. and it's 2 a.m. now,
Yeah.
we are technically 20 hours into being awake.
The difference, though, is that I only
So
slept
the next
4 hours last
Oktobercast
night.
would start 9 a.m., not noon, right?
Yeah, I could go another 4 hours.
What, now you mean?
Yeah, I mean, I could if I had to.
But then you got a full day
For
ahead
the
after
kids.
that.
For the kids.
I
I
still
also-
haven't had caffeine.
Yeah, Wes is. You're young though too, so that's
Not Mormon, just young.
I'm not younger than Matt.
not younger than Matt.
I'm
He's
gonna
got
sleep
Red Bull
in
right
tomorrow.
there.
What? I think we should do a different charity for April Oktobercast. Not that I have anything against the kids, but I think we should come up with something else. Figure out another charities or another. Cause.
All right, come up with a good one.
Yeah, so we'll take suggestions on that. Norm, do you want to announce anything on this our 100th episode
Yeah.
about enduring since we've been enduring a
Yeah.
lot?
Oh, you guys have been teasing that for ages. You gotta.
Yeah, we're going to make a post about it.
Leslie Nielsen is Canadian.
Really?
I am fucking vindicated.
He's been
You're
vindicated.
still wrong on the other one.
But
Steve
I
Martin.
was vindicated.
Marilyn Monroe,
America.
probably.
God bless America.
Okay, I'm going to bed.
Can I go to bed now?
Yeah,
Yes.
kill the stream. Good night, guys. We'll be back tomorrow with more live stream videos coming up on the site. Did Drew's thing go up? Is it up?
What's up?
Drew's awesome travelogue video is up. You should check that out. It's live now. We had some technical difficulties earlier today, both on
What's,
the front page
um,
of the site and on posting.
What if you had to guess? Like, what is going to be the content of tomorrow's live show, or do you just not know until you get to the show? and see what's out
Tomorrow will
there?
be what we saw on the floor.
Right.
And those I think are the best of the. CS
I think
live
that's going to
shows.
be much more interesting than talking about press conferences.
We also, if you're listening to this in the podcast, something happened earlier. I don't want to say it was a good thing, but it was crazy.
It was definitely.
We had too many
different.
guests. We had Mark Ray and Michael Pachter were here. Both great guests, fantastic guys. Then a whole bunch of other people here who we know, but
showed up.
we had
also.
we had too many guests. So if you want to brave that, it's on the site. It might go up later.
kind of a crazy clusterfuck talking about gaming and stuff.
There's a lot of next gen console talk from relatively informed people, and then Mark Rain just sits here quietly and says, "I don't know anything about what you're talking about. I can't say anything."
Yeah.
A
Because I can't
lot.
say anything, and then he says everything.
And then he talks a lot.
Yes.
So you might want to just dig in and get the little gems in there, but that'll be up. I don't know if that'll be up tomorrow. We'll get it up soon.
Just a little bonus that we threw out there.
yeah,
There goes your outtakes.
Right. We could just make that fake outtakes.
Yeah, let's do that, and then I can
There
go
we
to bed. Whatever it means, I can go to bed.
I don't want to make that
I'm
fake
willing to
outtakes
sign
for the
off on
100th
it.
episode because that we want.
Well, we just did some.
There were
I
shittiest
gave
fake
Norma.
outtakes
Would you
ever.
rather?
It's too late. We're not in
I'm
the frame
past
of mind.
caring.
I know.
I'm past
I
caring.
kind of want to go get food.
This shit is free. I'm not getting paid.
That's true.
What the fuck?
Do you want to go get? Well, you got a free ride to Vegas in the van.
Earl sandwich.
Yeah,
That's
that's
priceless.
Oral sandwich is good.
Maybe we want to go. I was thinking all night breakfast place, Planet Dailies. They have the America's Funniest Home Videos clip reel. Gary, you look so pissed at me for suggesting food.
Well, no, it's not that. It's just that I was ready to go to bed, but you reminded that I'm also actually really hungry.
I'm fucking
but
starving.
I can't decide what I want to do more. if I'm more desperate to eat or more desperate to sleep.
Would you rather
Eat or sleep? That's the most simple. The most
Eat
simple.
or
Would you
sleep.
rather has finally been distilled down to its purest essence.
right.
Would you rather eat or sleep?
took a finely honed mind to
It
make
can't
that
possibly
happen?
be any shorter. Just syllabically,
No.
it can't be any shorter than that.
No, 3 syllables: eat or sleep.
Eat
And
or
you are
sleep.
in that situation right
I'm
now.
exactly. It is the ultimate.
Oh my goodness.
Nightmare mode. Would you
Oh.
rather?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where
I
I'm
think
at.
I'm
think
going to go
sleep.
with sleep.
I think I'm gonna
sleep
get
as
a
well.
Cliff Bar and I'm gonna
Do
eat
that.
while I walk to sleep.
If you sleep, you wake up and you can eat and you can live through
Are we
it.
gonna go Planet Dailies tomorrow morning?
That sounds good. Let's do that. Let's have breakfast.
We'll
at
be
Planet
up way
Davis.
before you are, I think.
Well, what time?
How
Well,
about
we
let's
have to
meet
be there
here?
at 9.
No,
We have to
we-
leave here at
No, I mean
9:15.
I'm an old man these days, so which means I wake up early even when I go to bed late.
Oh, okay.
All right.
I do that.
I was
too.
up early this morning because Norm came in and was fucking clunking around.
I'm
Well,
sorry.
Somebody who was in charge of the
Who
MiFi.
put me in charge of my phone?
I said, Norm, you are in charge of the MiFi.
I didn't hear you.
And I put it in your hand.
Nope.
I gave you the MiFi.
It wasn't in my hand.
And then you took it out up here and you left it out, and it became part of Gary's bed.
No, it didn't. I know exactly where it was.
Where was it?
It was in. It was in the.
I fucking told you it was in Joey's
I
room.
told you it was because I told you that's where it got the good reception.
Right. I even said, there's a text from me. I'm going to read it. It says, hey, make sure you check Joey's room, because Gary was in there with it yesterday and said, hey,
Yep.
you have good
guess
reception.
what?
Guess where it
My
fucking
phone was in the car when you texted.
Oh my God. Why do you not take your phone?
Because I was in a rush to look for the MiFi.
This is what getting too much of a hurry causes.
What a finely oiled machine this
Jesus
is.
Christ.
Good thing
All the planning in the world goes astray because we forgot the fucking MiFi. And I had a shitty Wi-Fi day all day long because we didn't have the MiFi.
I had a great MiFi day. Fucking amazing.
I'm going to fucking throttle somebody.
Oh my.
I don't think.
Test.
How many more
Great
days?
Wi-Fis.
What is this day? This is day 0.
0.
Day 0, and we're already.
Oh my
fucked.
God. I'm going to go home. I'm going to sleep like 5 hours, maybe 6. I'll wake up fresh. Go get some gross coffee from Planet Daily's and eat like sausage, eggs, bacon.
Yeah, like
Some shit with
Don't
whatever
stop
I get.
talking.
Whatever I get, I'm going to get them to put cheese on top. If I get pancakes, I'm getting cheese on top.
Oh, you know what I always get? I get the Hawaiian thing.
You know what? That's what
Yeah,
I'm
what's
going to
it
go to
called?
Planet Daily's.
Oh, the
Loco
Loco
Moco. Ooh, a Loco
Oh, it
Moco.
has
We'll go to
egg,
Planet-
hash, fried shit.
It's like a Salisbury steak with gravy.
Gravy.
Oh, so much
All
gravy.
right, so call me in the morning and we'll go to Planet
Who
Daily's.
the fuck has the meme thing open in the background behind the camera? That is uncalled for.
Greatest meme ever.
Uncalled for. Okay, we'll be back tomorrow. Check the site all day. We got videos coming up all day. Drew, Thomas, and Joey are going to be here cutting. Drew, Matt, Wes, Norm, and I are going to be on the floor. Gary, you're gambling tomorrow, spa day again?
I don't know.
Play it by ear?
I don't know yet what I'm going to do.
Okay. You're going to wing
Eating.
it.
I've actually got a little bit of work to do in the morning, and then my afternoon's free. I think I may play. I didn't get to really play any cards today, so I may go and hit up the blackjack pits tomorrow.
Only 4 days to go. 3 days to go. This is Monday. We have Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then we're driving back to San Francisco.
Yeah.
Till tomorrow. I'm Will.
I'm Norm. Bye.
Gary.
Matt.
Night.